What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto. Let me make it so you can see what I see. I'm just running in the door here trying to get this stream started. Where are all of my undergrounders tonight? How's everybody feeling? Tell me something in the chat. All right, cool. Now you can see what I see. Let me turn my phone off. Mic check complete. How is everybody? Who's here with me? Drop something in the chat. Let me know that you're here. And let's get going here. I got to spend, the day hanging out with the lifer. And I just, walked through the door right now. Was running a little bit behind. It took a minute to get out of there. So, hope everybody's doing well. We're going to start where we normally start. If there's anything anybody wants me to go over, of course, drop it in the chat. So, first off, let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. And do I have something interesting to tell you guys about a little bit of a trading style that I've been doing lately? I got to get my trade up so I could watch it a little bit. And I turned $400 into $1,700. So I made $1,300, and then I made another 100 or 200 today. So I've got a really interesting trading style I've been using. So I might talk about that. You guys let me know in the chat if you want to hear more about that. Somebody go tell Bankroll that we are live if he's not already here. Somebody tell Camsta that we're live. All right, let's get right into it with no delay, right? Enough of that stuff. So Chili's up 3.5%. Oh, I'm on the hour. I always leave it on the hour. Axie Infinity getting another 40% move. Axie Infinity to $2.74. That's really good. And then let's move on. Let me close some of these tabs that we don't need. I just have way too much stuff open. We don't need all of that stuff open. So Axie Infinity getting a nice move. River is what I've been trading. So when I turned that $400 into $1,700, I was trading River. And that was because Blues Guy said there was a nice trade on River. I got in, and then I just kind of fell into this new trading style that I kind of want to talk to people about. Camsta, Plague Dogs, shout out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And we got Hype up 14%. This Coca is up 8.7%. 8.7% pump for pump.fun. Let's go ahead and drop down another 100 here. We got Decred up 11, Seeker up 11, ADI. What is ADI? Just says ADI. It doesn't actually say anything. Up 11.8%. A lot of 11 and 11.8%. So that's very interesting. Zero. This is, layer 0. I thought so. Up 6.3%. Camsta says his stomach's all better. Well, I appreciate you being here, and I'm glad that you're feeling better. And we got this Cheems, I think it's Cheems, 8.3%. That this thing's up. Let's drop down another. Oh, syrup's up 7.4%. That stands out to me. Let's drop down another 100. And again, guys, I am just running in the door and starting the stream. Good thing I usually have things pretty much right where they need to be and set up. Otherwise, I'd still be reeling and trying to figure out how to get going here. So EDU, which is open campus, they're about education. They have connections to Binance Lab, up 11.7%. JTO, 7.5%. This Venice token up a 15.3%. AXL up 13.1%. AKT up 12.2%. And Gas up 11.2%. Venom up 12.3%. And Ronin Wallet, which of course is in the ecosystem and runs with Axie Infinity, Beam down 10.2%, and Merrill down 8.2%. Where is the blues guy? I can't wait for the blues guy to come. You know he'll come. If I say something about him, then he shows up. All right, and so that was our last kind of 2 to 300. Let's pop over here. It's probably on whatever I was on last. I didn't have time to really set this stuff up like I normally do. All right, BTC, 88,500, and now it's only down 4.4%. It's gotten a little bit of push up, a little bit of pump here. Let's hope that it can maintain, and maybe we're out of the doldrums. Maybe things are turning around. We'll have to watch. I know that Ethereum did break 3,000 a day, I'm pretty sure, and right now it is $2,930. All right, it's got to be able to see my trade. So $879 for BNB, XRP $1.90, Solana $124, and of course everything's still down a lot. We've had like a little bit of a relief pump, I think, and if you look how interesting it is when you roll down the alts. A lot of these charts look exactly the same. Oh, I thought that was Dogecoin's chart, all squarish like that, but no, it's not. Let's see. Let's keep going. Dogecoin, 12 cents. Cardano, 35 cents. Monero, XMR, $460, down 24.6%. XLM, up 3.4%. Or sorry, down 3.4% on the last 7 days. Zcash, $368. Hyperliquid, $25.42, up 7.4%. Right now, if you have any green on your 7-day, then I think that's a strong coin in my opinion. Let me get back over to the chat. There's Bankroll. What's up, Bankroll? Bankroll, I have something I really want to show you in a trading style. I know you probably see me post about it in the group. Right now, as of yesterday, I turned 400 into 1,700 bucks, but today it's more like 400 into 1,900 bucks. And so anyways, I really want to talk to you about it. I found this really cool strategy, but I don't want to distract from what we're doing right now. Just remind me that I want to tell you about that. What's up, River Market Maker? All right. Sweet, $1.45. Avalanche, $11.75. Like I said, everybody, I've been hanging out with the Lifer all day, so I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention. I guess we're going to start talking about River. Why does it say River's price is $82? The perpetuals that I'm in are moving differently than the actual spot chart. It's really interesting. They're drastically different. Because we are not at $82 for River right now in the perpetuals on weeks. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Matter of fact, I'll show you right now. Look. And I'll refresh it so you know we have the latest data. So this says that River, right, is at $82. Well, let's come over here and you can just see it in the tab. We'll refresh this real quick so that you guys can see it. Oh, yeah, man, you was thinking about me always, brother. I always think about when I say that we're like a tight-knit underground family, like I mean it. When you're somebody who shows up day after day and participates in our Discord and stuff, I take a lot of note of it, and you become my people for sure, my family. Dude, we've been getting deep in the chat. Love this core group we are forming up. Yeah, for real. It is phenomenal. But what I wanted to say is if you look here, it says River's at $73.90 something cents, and you can see all my buys and sells here. I've been all over this coin right now. If we scroll down, you see my BTC trade that I'm still stuck in. And the way that I'm trading, when you see that like I'm down like $170, my style that I'm using to trade right now, don't let this bother you at all. All right. And I'm going to talk more about this. So hang around if you want to know more about that. Says, yeah, man, we fam. It was good talking to you for sure. Absolutely, man. I love talking with my people. Been talking with Blues Guy a lot. Been talking with Bankroll here and there for sure. And man, I'm really enjoying what I do, even more than I already did. I already loved what I do. All right, let's hop back over. I just want to see where Flair's at, even though the Flair King is not in the building yet. I know he'll be here shortly. Let's see. We are at number 105. I was looking at the price. Like I don't remember what the price is. It's 1 penny, like almost exactly here. But it's number 105 by market cap. From here, we go take a look at what is trending. Because maybe for a lot of you guys, like this is a good recap. Maybe you were on to maybe you watched The Lifer in the morning and he gave you kind of where Bitcoin's at and where a lot of things were at in the morning. And maybe you went about your day. Maybe you set some trades and walked away. Maybe you weren't trading. And now you come to the night stream and we go back and we kind of go over everything to keep you on point. All right, let's talk about it. So Axie Infinity, of course, number one gainer of the day, only 63%. Okay, so that tells me it was like it was a Monday. That tells me it's a Monday right here because 63% is not that high for a 7-day high here. All right, Ultima. Oh, we're on trending. I thought we were on top gainers, top losers. Like I said, I just ran in the door, smashed the buttons on my computer to get us live, and I'm not terribly late. I was like 2-3 minutes late. But anyways, if everybody could then smash that like button and the subscribe button, a link to our free Discord in the chat so that you can reciprocate how dedicated I am to this channel. If you appreciate it, hit the like button. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right, what's trending here? We're looking for coins that we don't really know what they are, right? And then we're going to kind of look into them. So we have Axie Infinity, Ultima, Hyperliquid, Pudgy Penguin, that river right there. That thing has been making me some money. I love it. Seeker, Bitcoin, Tether Gold, Pax Gold, Solana XRP, Kinesis Silver. That doesn't surprise me at all. Canton Network, Ethereum, and this Acurist, maybe. I don't know. I think Acurist is better. That's the only one that's new on my radar. I wouldn't say that I don't know what it is because we've deep dived it for the last couple of days. I posted a free call in the Discord. Check it out if you want. Yeah, absolutely. If I remember, I'll do it in a minute here. So 60.2 million in market cap, 27 cents. Max chart says this thing token generated, and the distinction between a token generation event when the coin comes out and how long a company has been a company or like been on social media posting, those are two totally different things. All right, so 11 cents, the 20th of January 2026. So this was only 6 days ago. So not a lot of history here. This is a new token. Decent market cap, though. I do like the market cap. I don't like that the max supply is infinity. I'm not a big fan of that. All right, because you never know how many more tokens could come into the supply. That's a problem. Base contract, BNB smart contract. Let's see what we got for categories. DPIN, which is decentralized infrastructure. And then, of course, Coinless Launch Pad and artificial intelligence they have here. So let's go to their website. And let's go down. Got a spare phone. This is all about computation. So we talk about this a lot. When it comes to AI, whether it's in crypto, on blockchain, or outside of that, it requires a ton of resources. If you didn't know that, you got to start thinking like that. Like AI is capable. It's great in a lot of ways for a lot of things, but it does require a ton of resources. And there's all of these projects like Grass that I talk about a lot, link in the description. And this program we've seen, or project, we've seen many other just like it. They're trying to pool together resources from places where there's not a lot, where there's extra resources not being used is what I'm trying to say. So like your cell phone probably has a lot of GPU power and stuff. And if you're not somebody who's on your cell phone 24/7, that computation is not always in use. Well, they want to be able to use it when you're not using it, right? And they want to pay you a small amount. They're going to do the heavy lifting of figuring out how to put it together, going and marketing it to big tech companies and stuff like that. And they're going to kick you out a small reward for it. I don't know all the ins and outs of this project. Like, I don't know if they give you the actual token, if they give you a point reward system, if there's going to be an airdrop. This thing is very new. It's 6 days old. I haven't got a chance to dig that deep into it. But anyways, that's basically what it does. Become a part of the already growing Cloud Rebellion. Thousands already on board, right? And you receive Mist, it says. Okay, I have read this before. Receive Mist by completing quests. I don't know if Mist is like an actual token. Let's go look that up. Or if this is more of an in-app kind of thing. mist. You got alchemist, this mist. I don't think that this is the right mist. That one has like a Chinese symbol next to it. I don't know. I'm going to say that mist is probably like some kind of token, in-app token that maybe they're going to launch later or they're using as a point reward system. And that's pretty much everything for CoinGecko over here. Let's hop over to Crypto Rank and take a look at that fear and greed index, baby. It is at 29, which is up. That's up from where we've been lately, and as I pull it up, you'll be able to see. I like to make it big because it just makes it a little more visual in your face. And again, we talk about this all the time, crypto bubbles, the fear and greed index. This is just a way of taking data, which if we had a bunch of numbers and dates and stuff would be really boring and maybe not easily perceivable. Well, now we have graphs and charts and mechanisms that make it easier for us to understand. And the fear and greed index, I think, has been a really good indicator over, the years. Let me check on this trade. All right, it's doing trade stuff. I guess I could just go to it actually on over here in my tabs. But anyways, I digress. So the fear and greed index is at 29. Yesterday it was at 20. So we're up 9. So confidence, think of it as confidence, right? You rather have you're in green, people are extremely greedy and overly confident. They need to come down. Or you're extremely fearful, nobody's confident, it needs to come up. Then you have your neutral zone in the middle. You could look at it 0 to 100. You could look at the colored shaded regions, all of that stuff. And then you get a little chart down here. You can toggle by the year. And you could just look at the year and like, here's green. We were far more bullish here in the green. When it gets real green, we usually come down. And then it came down some more. When we get bullish, it starts to come up a little bit. Or when we get bearish, it starts to come up a little bit. And that's just how that works. All right, then we use CoinGecko, or Crypto Rank, sorry. CoinGecko is the other one, to look at what's trending, right? What is going on? And this is usually where we find tons of projects to look out. Shout out to anybody who's rolling in here. Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show, where we wish to keep you updated on everything that's trending and also raise that crypto IQ. So you have Enosis, Hey Elsa. Hey Elsa is a very interesting project. It's new on the radar. I look forward to seeing how well this project's going to do. Think a trading bot mixed with ChatGPT. Very interesting. Fogo, new on the radar. I like Fogo. There's something that I use with Fogo, which is this little miner bot thing. But the thing is, like, if you see up here in the right-hand corner, I'm going to open my Fogo wallet, right? Fogo wallet is built on Solana. And what it does is it keeps you logged in. So you'll see I can change my duration from 30 seconds to 1 week. I'm already logged in, but then I can update it. So I stay logged in. That way my little miner will keep going. Hopefully you guys can see that. And anyways, that will keep this going. And, oh, I got to start it. Have I not been mining? I hate when that happens. Anyways, this is like a little mining thing. I don't know. This is obviously not the Fogo token. It's this fish token, which is on an actual swap and exchange. You can swap it for things. And so I'm just kind of mining it. It cost me $5 to buy this little boat NFT, and we're just rocking with it. It's something I did for the community to show you. But the whole point is I wanted to show you that Fogo's real claim to fame here is their wallet and your ability to stay logged in. Because when you stay logged in, you don't have to constantly pay these different transaction fees, right? So let that be known. Let's go back to Crypto Rank, right? We have ImmuneFi. It's trending again. This is not a new token, but I don't know if they have their token generation event. Anyways, we're going to click on that in a minute. Space token. I remember Bankroll was talking about this. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Blues guy in the house. Greetings and blessings, everyone. Much love, Underground, my man. Good seeing you. Absolutely. It's great to see everybody. Thank you for being here. And Space Coin was something that Bankroll was talking about, but was it this coin? Because I think that you had said that this was not the coin that you were looking for. Then we got Lena, Axie Infinity, Accuras, Fight. We've talked about Fight before. Penguin was doing some serious numbers just shortly ago, right? And then we got this Mine Network, which is, its ticker is actually FHE, which I believe stands for Fully Homomorphic Encryption. I'm seeing this language more and more. Boy, I have so many things in my mind to tell you. I could go in so many different directions. Let me stay on task here. So we're reading what's trending, and then we're going to go look at things, right? So Seeker, Sentient, Oasis, Rose, not a new token. We were trading that in the Lifer group like a year ago. Plague Dog says, I just want to be a spaceman. Don't we all sometimes? Don't we all? Man, that space coin confused me, bro. There's two. Yeah, that definitely happens a lot. Just check on my trade. You might see me as I trade more. A lot of people said, hey, we want to see you trade more. And it was funny because that was really in the time where I took off a lot of time trading. So I'm kind of back to trading, and I found something really unique I want to keep on the burner. I want to talk to you guys about. But you might see me bounce over to my trade a little bit more inside the show. It is what it is, right? A lot of you guys are traders, so I think some of you guys will appreciate that. So then we have this Jitto Labs, JTO, Monad, Degent AI. A lot of these are not new tokens. And then over here, we have the 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. So you have the ones that were searched, and then you have the ones that were actually visited. Bitcoin is like always at the top of this list, right? Bankroll says one is for satellites and the other is a leverage prediction market. And he says, yeah, we ready for you to trade more with us live. Hey, I think that's going to happen the way that it's been rolling here lately. So Sentient, Zama, River, Solana, Seeker, Hey Elsa, ImmuneFi, Bitway, this Accurus that we already went over there on CoinGecko, Konex, this ETH gas, and I think a lot of people want this to do really well. I've just heard enough buzz about it, right? And it's something that people recognize. It's like the idea of brand recognition, right? People who have been in the crypto space know what Gwei is, right? If you've ever used the Ethereum network and ecosystem organically with a wallet, you paid fees, you know what Gwei is. Gwei is also how they measure how much fees you have to pay. So Zero Labs, Monad, XRP, Superstate, that's new on my radar, Flying Tulips, and Fogo. So let's go back to our list here and let's go over some stuff. All right, if you're coming on in, smash that like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. So Inso is not a new project. We're really looking at projects that are new on the radar. So the first one up is Hey Elsa, and I'm glad to see this thing is still trending again. Haven't got the time to go really set it up and start working with it and sign in. It says you're a good trading partner. We getting good core group of traders. We gonna cook this year together. Hey, absolutely, man. And I'm probably going to start hanging out in the voice chat a little bit more and trading during the day, because if I'm trading, I'm sitting here, then I should probably just open up the voice chat. If you don't know, if you're not in our Discord, free Discord in the chats where we hang out when we're not live streaming. Great tight group of people. We really do have some awesome people there. And then we have a voice chat where we can actually get to know each other a little bit more, talk. You can ask questions. If you're somebody who doesn't really like to type constantly and read long paragraphs back and forth, you just say, hey, let's hop over into the voice chat and talk about some stuff. And that can be a great tool to get to know people, right? And for me to get to know you and you to get to know our community, our crypto family here. Anyways, let's take a look at Hey Elsa, because I really do like this project. I like what they're trying to do. I always have to make this distinction to you guys. It's like, I'm not saying that I love this exact project and the token's going to go to the moon. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I like the idea. I like what they're doing. Let's watch together day after day after day and find out what we think about it, because I haven't used it yet. Anyways, it token generated January 20th, 2026. Again, 6 days ago. It is new token. It's been as high as 43 cents. It's chilling down at like 13.5 cents. And that is 30.8 million in market cap. It's been as high as 92 million. A lot of times what I like to look at is the ratio between the market cap now and where it's been before on specifically a newer token, because again, you can't judge a token that came out in 2024 or 2022 off of where it was in a super high bull market 2 cycles ago. That's just not fair. But for a new project, if they come out and they have 92 million, you look over here and the market cap's like 3 million, it means a lot of people sold off. What does that tell you? We want to raise people's crypto IQ. That tells you that there is not strong conviction, community, or confidence around it, or they sold way too many coins to early investors and they were just dumped it. They didn't make them lock it up for a period of time, and they just dumped it on you. And that can be a thing too. It can be hard to tell the difference, right? Base ecosystem, base blockchain, DeFi, AI agents, and X402. X402, let me tell you, if you're in crypto and you don't know what X402 payments are, I think this is going to be a heavy narrative. It had a little pop at one point, and then Bitcoin kind of slowed down and went down a little bit, and you didn't hear much about it. I think it's going to come back. It's too useful to not be important. So Hey Elsa is a cryptocurrency trading conversation bot designed to assist users in managing their crypto wallets. Do me a favor. If you've ever used ChatGPT Grok, throw a 111 in the chat. And if you use it on a daily basis, throw a 333 in the chat. And if you've never used it before ever, throw a 777 in the chat. And let me see that roll in so I can kind of tell how much, the community people watching have actually ever used ChatGPT before. So let's go over to their Twitter, because what are we doing here? We call this the Twitter smell test, or I call it that. But what it really is I'm looking for engagement, attention economy, everybody, right? Crypto tokens and stuff and social media is all attention economy. If you launch a token and nobody knows that it exists, probably not going to trend, right? It's probably not going to pump. If it's not trending, people are not seeing it, they're not buying it. So this is how we kind of wrap our heads around how this all works in crypto. How does a token come out and go to $1 billion market cap? Well, there's a lot of factors in that, and we want to continually compound by coming to this stream and getting our crypto IQ raised so that we can understand these things. Anyways, let's break this down real quick. This is not a long segment. 92.7 thousand followers, so less than 100,000 followers. You scroll down, you look at the pin post, and you look at the date, January 20th, 6 days ago on the day of their token generation event. It says the economic layer for DeFi, which is decentralized finance, AI, is here. So not just decentralized finance, but combined with AI. And you come down here and you see they have 231,000 impressions, and you see that what's the ratio between the impressions and how many followers they have. And a bonus, if they have it, is the community, and you see how many community members. Now, there's always going to be way less people in the community, right? But we want to see who's in the community, because those are strong core people who are most likely going to hold the token and not sell off too quickly, or at least they want some inside info. I'm going to follow them because I'm warming up. I'm starting to get a little more bullish on this Hey Elsa. And as I follow them, do me a favor and follow me, CryptoRom, blue check mark at Underground Crypto. My face in the thumbnail. Don't know if I have impersonators, but it's bound to happen at some time. I will absolutely, most likely, never message you, right? Especially on Twitter. If you're in my Discord and stuff, you're probably going to get to talk to the real me. But if you're seeing me on Twitter and stuff, I'm probably not talking to you. And, maybe we need to come up with like a secret code word, right? So that we know when we're actually talking to the real person, right? All right, welcome to Elsa, the simplest way to trade crypto. And it's a chat bot, right, for trading. And you can ask it all kinds of different questions, but they're going to make you log in. And when I click on a lot of these things, at least yesterday, it kept redirecting me over to logging in. There it goes. It redirected me. So I do need to log in with this. I haven't done it yet. I will maybe, if somebody reminds me at the end of the stream, I may go ahead and log in here for you guys so we can really go over that. All right, and so I can't really show you a whole lot. Man, I'm just clicking all the wrong things. I can't show you a whole lot here, but just understand ChatGPT, right? Blues Guy said 777. He's never used AI. I tell you, man, AI is very useful. It's just, think of it as Google on steroids. I know you know what it is, Blues Guy, but just think of it as Google on steroids. It's not sentient. It's not taking over the world. Most of the time, it can't even put text or words, that would be text, in an image without spelling them wrong. So it's not going to, I don't think it's taking over the world at this point. At least not the version that we have. Who knows what militaries have and stuff like that, but I digress. That's not what we're here to talk about. Let's move on. So Fogo, the ads on Crypto Rank drive me nuts. Okay, Fogo, I'm not even going to I'll bring it up and read the description, but it's just about being able to stay logged in and not have to pay a bunch of extra fees out by constantly signing all of these different things all the time. Fogo is a high-performance Solana virtual machine, layer 1 blockchain designed to deliver real-time experience at scale. So they're about scaling, and they're about not having to pay a bunch of fees all the time by signing everything all the time. He says, I know what AI is, that's why I stay away. I had a feeling you would say that. I totally get it. But when you need it, it's just incredibly useful. You won't lose your job to AI, but someone knows how to use AI. But someone who knows how to use AI. Exactly. A lot of pros and cons to AI. Good to have exposure either way. Yeah, exactly. And I say about AI, it's a tool. It's just a tool. Like, how many people are worried about Google? If you're not worried about, and not even Google, not specifically the company, all right? The search engine. If you use a search engine, then I don't know why you would be against AI. That's what I have to say. And I know that there's a lot of arguments around it, and I'm honestly really surprised by how many people get all up in arms about AI. I gotta say, I think it's really silly. Just because it's just a tool, it just aggregates information. Like, if you hate AI, then you should be against every data oracle in crypto, right? You should hate Chainlink. They're all aggregating data, and then there's a preface, a user front end that's allowing you to interact with that data, all right? And oracles feed that data. So if you hate AI, you should also hate oracles and any kind of data center and any kind of data feed. And at that point, I guess you just take your phone and your computer and just throw it in the trash can because you hate data and information, right? And the evolution of it. So Spacecoin is one that we're going to talk about. This is about satellites. Yep. Spacecoin is a DePIN powered by satellites, building trustless internet connectivity on a global scale. Hot take, hot take. I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of flare back than that. Convenience. Yes. Sometimes you need convenience for sure. Yeah. Good tool, add to tool belt, more than a tool. I hear you, Blues Guy. I know where you're going. Says, no, I don't hate Link, bro. I know I know what an oracle is, not the same. Right, but without oracles, you have no AI because it feeds the data. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't because what is it? Think about it. If an oracle feeds data, right, and then something else takes that data, aggregates it together, and presents it to you, well, then all it's doing is aggregating data. So why would you hate the thing that just takes the data and puts it together for you? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's like being mad at a search engine. A search engine just takes information, aggregates it, and presents it to you. It's just the next iteration of Google. Look how much Google search engine changed the world. And any search engine for that matter, right? Well, AI is just doing the exact same thing. It's aggregating information. It's just a tool. Anyways, I digress, right? I'm not saying oracles and AI are the same thing, but they are together. You can't you can have AI without oracles, but you can't have oracles without the other way around. Like, you can have an oracle and feed data to the back end of websites and stuff like that, or your charts and trading view. That's fine, that's cool. There's a lot of things that feed data, but you can't have AI without the data feeds. Anyways, Spacecoin. Let's go take a look at my trade real quick. Are we dipping? Kind of feel like it's dipping. Says, I hate AI. I had a feeling that would be your opinion. Google could compete with OpenAI, so they put AI in the search engine. There you go. Now, anything you search at all is going through AI because of that move. AI is just built to have algorithm, right? It's built to put things together in a better format, a quicker, better format. Anyways, I digress. At the end of the day, in all honesty, you can feel however you want about AI, and that, I'm not directing that at Blues Guy. That's for anybody. And if you don't like it, don't use it, right? You don't ever have to be, I don't have to be mad at nobody who doesn't like AI. Just don't use it, and everybody's happy. Spacecoin, ticker Space, right? I'll digress off of that. I am really amazed at how many people are up in arms about AI. 0.013. And let's go down. Spacecoin is a DePIN powered by satellites, building trustless internet connectivity on a global scale. This thing token generated the 23rd January 2026, so that looks like 3 days ago. It has absolutely lost all of its value, it seems like. Well, I guess it's not as bad. Charts can be a little deceiving, right? It has lost about 50% of its value, or something very close to that, maybe like 48% of its value. Yeah, exactly, Bankroll. Everybody hated cell phones and laptops and debit cards. Every time we have new iterations of technology, a lot of people go screaming off into the night about it, and then everybody gets used to it. Yeah, people misunderstand AI. AI has been out for so long. Yeah, I honestly, from my research, some form of AI has been around since like the 1960s. It's just been, kept a little bit behind the curtains because of how extremely useful it was. It was great for the military. So 531.1 thousand followers for Spacecoin. And it's got 120,000 impressions from 3 days ago right off the bat. That's not even 50% of their followers, so that's not that great. And the attention, 1.4, 3.4. I mean, what did they buy these followers? You have 531,000 people who follow you, and you're only getting 1.4 thousand impressions in 18 hours. In 18 hours, it's actually a repost, so that's interesting here. This is not a repost. It's from 5 hours ago, got 3.4, so maybe it's a little bit better than I thought. This is from 6 hours ago. Let's scroll down. Let me find one from, like, a day ago. Come on, they post a lot. I give them that much. They're trying to stay relevant. They're probably doing the right thing, and they just came out. Stay relevant, I mean they're trying to build relevance. Let's go down. Did I get the chat all fired up about that? So maybe there are things you don't know about AI. Maybe that's why people don't like it. There's a reason. I've heard a lot of things about AI. Yeah, I totally get. I mean, where you want to go with it is all kinds of things you could go to. Yeah, you do me, I do. Yeah, exactly. Everybody do what they want to do. It doesn't bother me too much. Said I always do. Never afraid to speak what I learned. Not cocky. Can you not have a convo? You getting me all fired up, bro. Hey, smash that like button. Welcome to Underground Crypto. And, take a deep breath, too. Try not to get, vexed about it. If you feel a certain way about AI, then have your conviction until something changes. But maybe be open to conversation. I mean, if you think it's the literal devil, then there's that. Is that the form that we're using? I don't really know. I don't really think so. All right. So Spacecoin, the number one thing that I'm going to say about this is, like, they need to put a video of them launching a satellite into space. Otherwise, I'm completely out on Spacecoin. Sounds like a cool idea, but crypto has just become so cluttered right now. And I'm so absolutely kind of tired of, I have an idea. Let me go make a coin. Everybody believe me, please believe me. And they're like in the, digital town square yelling, please give me your money so that I can go try my idea. I don't even know how good you are. Like, they want to put satellites up. What does it cost to launch a satellite? Plus, how much money does it cost for the satellites? And then you're going to launch them up. How many do you need? Do you need 2 satellites? Do you need 100 satellites? Can we launch them? Like, there's so many questions. And until they have actual satellites, I'm not messing with them. Now, what they're probably going to do is they're probably going to buy the right to use people who already have satellites in space, and then that's a totally different mechanism. Now they're paying money, and they need to keep that money generated. I don't know how they're going to do it, right? There's a lot of unanswered questions. When I can't see a straight line to how the money winds up in the project, not even the market cap necessarily, just in the treasury of the company, then I don't really understand it. It's like if you came with a business proposal to me, think of a lot of these coins that don't have any working product as a business proposal. If you're not somebody who's a founder of something else who's been very successful, like, what is my reasoning to believe in you that you're going to do something amazing? Are you just a random guy who's like, I think that we should have houses on the moon. I think we should have flying cars. This is flying cars coin. I'll start the coin. And on the website, it's like, don't you think we should have flying cars? Did you think that when you were a kid, there would be flying cars right now? Buy flying car coin. And we're going to start a car company and build flying cars. They're probably not going to do that. Stay sharp to these kind of things. When you don't have a working product, and I'm using a big example, sometimes it's just a mobile app, but there's no mobile app. Sometimes it's a decentralized exchange, but there's no decentralized exchange yet. My whole point is, now that I've, been deep diving projects for a long time and I see the same rhetoric, the ones that are rug pulls are the ones that promise you the world. Most of the time they are. And they don't have a clear path. The goal's too big. They don't have a clear vision of how they're going to get there. I digress. We'll get back to actually looking at this in just a moment. All right. Always give me my speculations. Why we here? Oh boy, now satellites. Yeah, I don't see how they both have the same ticker. Confused me. Yeah, I don't even know at this point. Yeah, Blues guy, try not to get too fired up at anybody here. And I don't mean that directly at people. I just mean, like, enjoy the show. Like, don't get too fired up over the content. But we are getting the chat rolling, and that's a big part of the channel, guys. Anyways, Axie Infinity. So Lena, Somnia is for gaming. Accurus we already went over. Let's look at Fight ID. Do you know what Fight ID is, or ticker Fight? So Fight is a licensed Web3 ecosystem that transforms combat sports fandom into on-chain identity, reputation, and ownership. Let's go down here. Fight ID. I was trying to remember what it was the other day. It's Karate Combat. If anybody remembers my little tangent, I could not remember what the name of Karate Combat was. It's Karate Combat. And anyways, that's what it seems to me like they're trying to copy here, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There's room in the space for other things, but UFC's the big dog in this arena. 22nd of January 2026, so 4 days ago, and the chart honestly looks pretty good to me on this one. It's held this bottom here at 20 cents. It's beginning to move up to 24. I'm very interested to see how this does. Let's go check out how much attention they're having here. All right, so the bridge for MMA and Web3 sports. All right, so Karate Combat really already did this, where they got crypto influencers to go fight in a ring in an octagon. It's good publicity for people, and they get to put on one heck of a show. People love fights, right? It is what it is. On the betting world comes in on it, and it's a whole thing. Now, 147.2 thousand followers, January 21st pin post, and 260,000 impressions, says 100% refund airdrop. So 100% refund, zero reliance on an ICO. Fight is built for the long term and focused on bigger visions. Now, this is a good example of when I'm saying, like, I need to see a clear path to money. They put on a show. They maybe charge money to stream it, or you pay. It's a ticketed event. If you're coming, you got to pay a decent amount. Maybe it's a couple $100s for the night. I can see how they're going to make money. And they could go all over the place and do this. So, like, for me, I see how they could make money. And if they can make money and put it in their treasury, and they don't completely mismanage it, maybe they do some token buybacks and stuff for the community who supported them. But either way, they're going to stay around. And if they stay around and stay relevant, they stay putting on fights, well, then they're going to stay relevant in the crypto token world with their token, and that could equal a higher evaluation over time. This is my thinking. Let's see. Society Accent says UFC partnership ? I guess official partner of the UFC. It says. Yeah, I hadn't got to that part. UFC Strike. Okay, the Strike Force. So it says Chili's is the coolest sport fi so far. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I do like Chili's a lot. All right, let's hop over to my trade real quick. Just periodically jumping in on it. I do look forward to telling you guys more about this, and I will shortly, but let's get through the beginning of the show. So, Fight ID, let's go to the website. And if they have a partnership with UFC, that's great. What are they doing? Are they doing something? I guess the way that they're... Because you have to think, why would UFC want to partner with somebody unless they're, like, going to compete with them or something like that? I think it's because they're really sticking to, like, Web3 influencers and stuff. And so, therefore, they don't really compete with UFC necessarily. They're doing something similar, but they're doing something completely different, because the audience that wants to see a Web3 influencer fight another Web3 influencer is not the same people who want to see, John Jones or some big person fight, Anderson Silva, even though obviously he's in, like, boxing now or whatever. But anyways, I digress. So it's cool that they have this partnership. Now, again, they have any kind of little anything and they tout it like it's this big thing. What is the actual partnership is what we should be asking ourselves. Identity, reputation, ownership. One standard for combat sports on chain. So you have this Fight ID, a portable on-chain identity for fans and fighters. Non-transferable points that reward participation and unlock perks, and Solana-based IP token for access, staking, governance, and rewards. UFC distribution. So Fight Week visibility across UFC digital and events. So maybe they're being promoted in a way. Maybe UFC owns this, right? You don't always want to assume that they're competitors. They might partner with them, then this gets big, and then UFC just buys it. They get a trial run to see how good it is in the market, and then they'll probably just buy the thing if they don't already own it already. What's going on in this chat? All right, that's how we speculate and keep each other on our toes. That's what we've been doing all day in the TA channel. Iron sharpens iron, everybody, right? We have conversations. We got to keep the emotions low, the brain open, and just listen. And if you don't feel like your opinion has changed, so be it. No big deal. Keep your opinion. All right, Chili's is the coolest sport. Yep, exactly. If they can do what they say they're going to do, could be really a cool thing to have a team token and let holders vote on things that happen. Exactly. I want team coins that are affected by actual team performance. Hey, that would be really cool. Have you looked into Chili's? CHZ. CHG is Chili's, right? I'm pretty sure that's Chili's. Yeah, that token it's funny. That token came out a while ago. I bought that token quite some time ago. I didn't buy a terrible amount of it because it was new, but I did buy a few of them, a handful of them not too long ago. Anyways, we could get into this a little bit more. Let's go to, this is post Interfight ID. Okay, so you got to log in. Guys, everything I go to wants me to log in. It would take forever if I sat here and constantly made a profile for everything we go onto. It would take a lot of time. And so I don't want to take the time to do that. But in the back end, I probably will do that at some point. It's better for the end of the show. So partnership. Let's talk about this because I would really like to see what the heck they're talking about here, because this could really shape my opinion around Fight and how much I think they're bullish or not. So before we even read it, I just want to pre-reference by saying, do they have a real strong partnership, or did they shout them out on social media and now they're claiming it's a partnership? Let's find out. UFC partnership turns every card into a fan onboarding moment. Throughout our multi-year leasing and sponsorship agreement between Fight's core contributor Concept Labs, what does it say, and the UFC, Fight gains reoccurring visibility across UFC broadcasts, digital channels, and Fight Week moments. So basically they're saying they're going to be promoted. They're going to be on their, digital channels. They're going to be in UFC broadcasts. They're going to have a Fight Week moment. I think that's bullish, man. I think that is so bullish. How does it convert? The people who watch UFC, how many of them are crypto people? You do see Coinbase and a bunch of other places advertise with a lot of the sports and stuff, so it must be pretty decent in my opinion. Like, there must be some crossover, right? So we get to an article on CoinMarketCap, and it says Fight ID and UFC expand Web3 collaboration to grow global fan engagement. Let me look at this chat real quick. UFC is very crypto friendly. Yeah, I think it is. The guy who runs it, I think, is pretty open-minded. I want to buy everything they have. Exactly. Beautiful crypto queen in the house, VeChain, and Crow. There you go. Yeah, exactly. They do advertise quite a bit in the sports arenas. And crypto.com as well. I don't know if that's what you meant, but yeah, they do. All right, so let's read this because I'm interested to know, because this is really going to shape my opinion on bullish about this or not. FightFi. I like FightFi. I like the way that sounds. I like that category, and I hadn't thought about FightFi. Karate Combat would be in that category, right? So the company behind Fight ID, a Web3-enabled platform designed for combat sports fans and athletes, has announced an expanded partnership with UFC, the world's leading mixed martial arts organization. The collaboration aims to enhance UFC's digital fans' engagement through the continued development of blockchain-powered products and experiences, right? So let's make this a little bigger. Maybe you guys could follow along a little better. So Fight ID and official partnerships of the UFC Strike Digital Collectibles utilize blockchain infrastructure to bridge the gap between UFC's global fan base and the growing ecosystem of Web3 users. So this is really for the you could see how Fight ID benefits, right? But how does the UFC benefit from this, right? Well, they benefit from getting exposure into this Web3 ecosystem, right? They probably don't have a ton of exposure there. The company's roadmap includes the development of digital identity and loyalty system, a a prize pool mechanism to support additional fighter bonuses and lines of premium merchandise exclusive to the Fight ID ecosystem. To support the next phase of platforms, Fight ID has closed a new funding round. Institutional partnerships including Anthos Capital. Okay, they're going to tell us a bunch of foundation. I'm going to skip that part, right? Jupiter and Memeland. Okay, that's more relevant to us, right? The round also includes angel investors from the sports entertainment. So they have a bunch of backers and investors. NFL Pro Bowl. Oh, Cam Jordan. So a player, not the actual NFL. This fan keeps making me want to cough. Okay, UFC has always embraced the innovation first mentality. Right. Okay, so that kind of tells me what I needed to know. Fight ID team has been involved in UFC's digital collectible development over the past 3 years. The new collaboration will expand the scope of this work to engage a broader segment of the combat sport community. Gotcha. All right, this helped a little bit. It didn't tell me everything I wanted to know. The one thing that I don't really fully understand here is the Fight ID. Is this just for me to like log into the ecosystem and they branded it something? So claim your Fight ID, earn reputation. Okay, so maybe there's betting involved or something because it says earn your reputation. But honestly, like as a user or a fan or a watcher, you have a Fight ID. How are you going to get a reputation? Like you're not fighting. So maybe you can bet, maybe you can post and you can earn reputation. And that gets you airdrop entries. That's a cool idea to get some, organic interaction going on. Anyways, that's Fight ID. That was a pretty good one to go over. Sometimes we find things that do look like a gem. All right, a lot of times it'll tell you about airdrops. I don't see a column about airdrops. It's so weird. Usually it's there. But what we really want to go over is where can you buy it? You can buy it straight on Coinbase, Mexi Global, KuCoin, Bybit, Uniswap. Right, so Ethereum, if you want a decentralized exchange, you're talking Uniswap here. The rest are centralized exchanges. I hope you know the difference. All right. At home enjoying the show and researching stuff with AI, LOL. I hope everyone is good in your world, lady. Okay, there you go. Melissa in the chat. Thank you for being here. Same here in North. Seems like a real degen coin. Yeah, it might just be. It does seem like a real degen coin. And then there's Penguin. Penguin is real simple. It's a meme coin. It's a movement. Let's see if this thing even exists 6 months from now, because I'm just not big bullish on emotional storyline led meme coins. Okay? So Penguin is a meme coin token on Solana. Cool, right? It went from really tiny, January 22nd, 2026. It was like 0.003. I don't know why I'm zooming in. I just want to go see where it's at now. It was as high as like 17 cents, so it did pump pretty hard. And it's showing at 9 cents now. But the whole thing around this, guys, this website might be harmful. All right. It didn't say that the last time I was here. Phishing protection. I've never seen that before. Like that screen that just popped up. I've never seen that screen before. And so anyways, I just tell you, it's about it's kind of like an emotional led narrative, in my opinion, kind of feeding you, hyping you up a little bit. Like you're the one who walks away from the crowd and does differently than everybody else. Like that's what they're trying to sell you. But everybody's buying this coin right now, all the degens. So if you buy the coin about being different than everybody else, but that's the coin that all the normies and degens are buying, then are you really different? Are you really the one who walks away from the crowd? I don't know. I think I'm the one who walks away from the crowd because I don't want to buy that and I have no interest in it. All right. Seems like real. I'm waiting for Penguin to dump. Yeah, exactly. And people to rotate into Pengu. Yep. Which is a meme, but has a community. Yeah. And Pengu has physical toys that they sell in like Target and stuff. People who don't know a thing about crypto are buying their kids, Pengu stuff. And so I think they have a great idea and some staying power here. All right. My network, FHE. Let's read the description here. We've gone over this thing. So my network is an FHE restaking layer for AI and proof-of-stake networks, accepting restake tokens to enhance security. Restaking. Okay, you know what staking is, right? You go somewhere, you buy a coin, you stake it. They give you a yield because you gave them liquidity. They use that liquidity to make money and yield themselves. So say they make 30% or 25% or 10%, whatever it is, they just give you significantly less. So if I have $100, or let's just say I have $100,000 and I want to stake it, right? And I get, 10%. Well, why not go set up a staking protocol where I can get you guys all to give me some money, right? I give 6% APY or something, and then I keep the other 4%, but I have way more money. Instead of $100,000, I have like $100 million. I'm going to make more money that way, even though I'm taking a smaller percentage. And so I think that there are a lot of these lending and APY protocols and stuff because, in all honesty, they just scrape a little off the top and they make a ton of money, right? And then you guys get in. They're not cheating you unless they take your money. Like, they do give you what they said they were going to give you. It's just a business, and that's how a business runs. People get so mad when businesses make money. But if you had a business, you would want to make money. So I don't know why so many people are vigilantes and like confused about businesses wanting to make money. If businesses don't make money, you know what they become? Not businesses anymore. They become closed. All right. They become bankrupt. Anyways, okay, sorry. Let me slow down. The 7th of April, 2025 is when this token came out. This is my network, ticker FHE. And let's go to their website real quick. So the confidential payment infrastructure for AI agentic economies. A2A payments using X402. There's that thing again, X402. What does it mean? We've talked about it a lot on the channel. And this is anonymous to anonymous payments, right? So you can't see who exactly is sending the payments. And you're using X402 protocol. It's been around since the 90s. I think it came out in 1993. It's not new. It's just a new way to use it, if that makes sense to everybody. All right, where are we at here? It has IP rights, yes, but the sale of those things doesn't benefit the token from what I was learning. Right. If you're talking about, okay, he's talking about IP. I don't know what he's talking about. I jump back in the chat sometimes, guy, and I think that you guys are talking about what I'm talking about. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't, which is a meme, but yeah, the community is thick and here to stay. Yeah, Pengu, for sure. And they have IP rights and stuff like that. It's not so much the fact that like them selling like physical merchandise in a store is going to add money to the market cap. So holding Pengu, it might not be, but it's brand recognition, right? Outside of crypto, getting people to love the stuff. And if the company is got money coming in and they can stay relevant, well, then their coin has a higher potential of people knowing what it is and wanting to invest in it, right? There you go. That's my opinion. Said, I'm enjoying the stream. This is a stream I can stay with. Thank you for your dedication. Go to the gym, bro. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for saying that. And I hope we raise your crypto IQ, and I love seeing you in the Discord. All right. So X402 protocol, if that's something we can go over more if people want to at some point, but it's just a way to send payments, specifically micro payments, right? And so it's a great infrastructure for AI to use when it's making payments. Like so many people want a trading bot. They want AI to go like build a website and sell something for them. You know what I'm saying? And basically, in order for that to happen, AI has to be empowered to use money in the digital, economy. And so X402 protocols is just already built into the internet, right? So repurpose it, and then all of a sudden, bang, you have, this crypto blockchain version of X402 protocol. I hope that did it some justice here. And aside from that, it's confidential and it uses fully homomorphic encryption. Built on Zama. Zama is all about fully homomorphic encryption. Say that like 13 times really fast. So you can get test assets, which have no value unless you're going to go use the test net. Maybe it's a good way to get some airdrop. I don't know. A lot of times that's how the airdrops work. All right, we're moving on. This is my network. It's very interesting. Pengu, yeah, true. I just had the wrong impression myself with IP rights. Okay. We got to talk, Bankroll, we got to talk about IP rights more. I keep meaning to deep dive it and research it. You seem like you understand it pretty well and things. We got to talk about it sometime. I look forward to that conversation. Seeker is just the coin for the Solana mobile network. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. It's been out for a while. Sentient, ticker Cent. Sentient is an open source artificial intelligence. I hate when it moves it like that. I was reading something. I was trying to expand it. Sometimes when I click more details, it just expands this, right? Is an open source artificial intelligence development platform. So their goal is really forwarding artificial intelligence. And it looks like the token generation event was like 4 days ago on the 22nd. 189.8 million in market cap. They're down about 100 million in market cap. That's not too crazy. You're going to have people just trade it and sell it, you know, or early investors dump it. There's going to be some level of that. Unless it's fair launched, then that's totally different. And that's why sometimes, you know, it's funny. A lot of meme coins do fair launched because meme coins a lot of times have such a bad reputation. It's a good way to go about it, in my opinion. But I'd like to see more like real projects do fair launches. Problem is they need money. They need money as a company. And that's a good way to raise money. It's like a pros and cons. Good way to raise money. It also could destroy your token at some point. Said, I use Sentient Demo AI. It's interesting, at least. Give it a try. Okay. I don't even know where to go to. Oh, try demo. Okay. So the home for open source AI reasoning. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. Maybe we'll try a demo another time. Basically, they want to get together as a collective, bring a bunch of people in who are about forwarding the advancement of AI agents and just AI across the board. And they're going to, you know, get together and just build out a bunch of stuff to make AI better. Our research at the frontier of reasoning. So to say it another way, they're very much about researching and advancing the technology that we know as AI. Building for the grid, open source frontier. Also, that's another thing. They're very about wanting to have AI and AI options that are not built by like a centralized company, and that it be open source so everybody can see it. Maybe that would help people trust it a little bit more. Much love, Blues. I'm passionate about crypto and AI, and I love to talk about it. Enjoy your passion. That's what it's all about. Hey, glad you guys are having a good time here. Let me hit some water. I can tell it's been really dry here and cold. Not too terribly cold, but it just gets so dry, and we live in a climate where we're so used to all the time humidity. It messes with my, like, you know, my voice. All right, so ETH gas or GWE. Man, this thing is so up and down. I feel like it's kind of bipolar. So wait, it's the funding rates. Oh, these are funding rates. Okay. Just updated their funding rates or something like that, I guess. All right, my break even is 76. Keep thinking we're going to get a pump out of this. Down to 72. All right, we'll see what happens. I need to get this back to 76. Really, I need to add a little bit, but I'll do that when I'm actually like focused on it and not doing something else. Yes, I am definitely enjoying my plastic. That data topic underground was still my favorite topic. Hey man, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. So ETH gas or GWE. And GWE USD. So ETH gas is a marketplace and infrastructure layer built for the Ethereum networks, block space, and gas market. We got 46 million, been as high as 56 million. Not a huge disparity. Let's take a look at the categories. Of course, it's Ethereum ecosystem, blockchain infrastructure, subcategories, marketplace, staking, and Binance Alpha. I really am interested to look at this token's website. Real-time Ethereum gasless future. A real-time Ethereum plus gasless future for all. Our mission at ETH Gas is to advance Ethereum to real-time network. If you've never heard this kind of terminology about real-time network before, very interesting. And eliminate gas fees to unlock institutional adoption and onboard the next billion on-chain users. So, real-time network just means everything works immediately, instantly. That's really what they're saying there. It's not a hard concept to wrap your head around. Initiatives, real-time blocks, blockspace marketplace, buy and sell future blockspace that enables instant settlement. So if you're doing instant stuff, then you can't really sell and bid the blocks that are happening. You got to almost do it in advance. That's a very interesting concept that I'd never really thought too much about. Said eliminate gas fees with rebates and drive on-chain adoption. Okay, well I'm all for anything that wants to get rid of, in a safe and secure way, wants to get rid of the fees on Ethereum, or at least bring them down. All right, we know what all of those are. Let's go up here. Sentient, we already did. Zama, we've been over a bajillion times. Seeker, hey, Elsa, we already did. Bitway. Bitcoin DeFi. Bitway is a layer 1 blockchain protocol designed for Bitcoin-based applications. If you've been to my channel before, you know how I feel about Bitcoin DeFi. The idea is great. I just don't think the use case is there. By majority, there's somebody out there who wants to use their $200,000 they're holding. And remember, a lot of people who have BTC had it early and they have a lot of money, and they don't really want to move it around. It's supposed to be digital gold. And when you have gold in a vault at home, say you had, I don't know, hypothetically $50,000 in gold, like, you're not running around trying to make it liquid and use it. You're not doing all of that. And I think that people really bought into this digital gold narrative, like you stash it away. And so I really don't think that there's a lot of people who want to pull it out and use it and move it around. I think maybe staking is probably the biggest way you could get people to care about pulling their crypto out. And so, like, Bitcoin DeFi projects come out. They've been coming out for forever, and I hope slowly they're building something. Like, I'm not against it. I think it's cool. But I just don't think the people who are using Bitcoin or Bitcoin maxis, like, I don't think that they care about having Bitcoin DeFi. Like, they don't need Bitcoin DeFi. See, the people who, think about this, the people who are building the Bitcoin DeFi projects, they have incentive because they want to move that liquidity and unlock that liquidity of people who hold Bitcoin. But who makes all the money there? The people who build these projects. And I'm not talking about Bitway specifically, but a lot of them, you build a protocol, there's even a tiny fee for moving money around, and now you're making money. Think about any platform. People build platforms. People use the platforms. I use a few platforms for selling, secondhand clothes online. That's my other business. And the company who built that platform, they're not selling anything online. They're just making a crap ton of money by everybody else and being the place where you can do it. It's the same idea, in my opinion. Maybe not Bitway, but Bitcoin DeFi. Say I built a Bitcoin DeFi project. I'm like, look at me. I'm Bitcoin DeFi. You can move your money around. And if you move your money through me, I'm going to take, a 0.5% fee. Well, guess what? You add that up and you're making money. And that's why they want to unlock the liquidity, is to put it in their pocket. Maybe there's a handful of people who are super passionate about blockchain technology and they really want to, build this thing. But most people just want to make money, right? It's usually after people make money that they actually want to do something good, right? Because they're safe and secure now. Parallel execution transactions that touch different objects can process simultaneously without waiting on each other. This eliminates a lot of the clutter from forced ordering. Nice. Exactly. Underground, did you have a good time with Sam today? Yeah, we had a blast. We really did. He's such a good host too, Every time me and my family go over there, it's amazing. UG, wearing my favorite color. Exactly. Thank you. This is actually one of my favorite shirts to stream in, so I'm glad that you like it. I hear BTC was created by one guy. Is that true? And do you guys know his name? Nice. Get that chat running, Blues guy. I see you. All I can tell you is that it wasn't meant to be created BTC. Scoopy explains it well, and made me bullish on SWE again. I've always loved SWE. It's the first test net that I ever played around with, and I enjoyed what they had going on, to be honest with you. I didn't get an airdrop. I was a little salty about that. I wish I would have got an airdrop. Actually, to be 100% fair, I haven't logged into that wallet in a long time. Maybe I did get an airdrop, but I don't think so. Superstate, 100 million total raised. Superstate is an asset management firm modernizing the infrastructure of investment funds. Interesting. And this is new on my radar. I don't know what this is. Superstate is reshaping capital markets. So they're financial. We connect financial assets with crypto capital markets through on-chain public listings and tokenized investment products. Tokenize your stock and raise capital on Ethereum, Solana, and other major blockchains. Cool. Official shares tokenized, global market access. Yeah, so it's financial, guys. They're connecting people. They're connecting, again, financial assets with crypto capital markets through on-chain public listing and tokenized investment products. This thing is financial. That's the category that you want to put it in. Something that retail, a lot of times they're not getting excited. No token generation event. Raised $100.5 million. Here are the founders. Look at their faces and hope that that's actually who those people are. I don't know if they do any vetting when it comes to that at all. I think he goes by the name of Stussy? I don't know what he's saying there. I always jump into the chat, so I don't ever know what the heck was being said. Never selling me SWE until I fly. Okay. Man, I think it's 10 guys standing in a circle saying kumbaya, right? SWE is short for Switzerland. No, SWE means water in Japanese. Think liquidity, right? So someone told me Satoshi is a measurement today. Yeah, Satoshi would be a measurement of Bitcoin, right? So if the dollar is the dollar, then Satoshis are the pennies or the nickels, whatever you want to call it. I think there's Satoshis, and I think there's even micro Satoshis, right? Now that Bitcoin is so big that an actual Satoshi is worth a lot more than it used to be. Remember when Bitcoin came out, it was, what was it? Was it 4 Bitcoin for a penny, I think is what it originally was? Or was it a quarter? Maybe it was 4 Bitcoin for a quarter. Maybe that's what it was. So you didn't really need Satoshis at that time because Bitcoin was small enough. Now that Bitcoin is blown up so much, kind of needs Satoshis. All right, let's talk about this trade. So basically, the first thing you have to understand with what I'm doing, never financial advice. If you take any trades and you win money or you lose money, you did it. I didn't do it. 100% keep that in mind. Has nothing to do with me. I'm showing you what I'm doing. Just got to put that out front, right? And for my regular everyday people, I know y'all are not tripping, but somebody might find this video and be tripping. To go to the gym? Hold on, wait. Did I miss your? Oh, okay. It's just now coming through. On my other stream, I saw the super chat come through, and then it didn't pop up on my end, and I'm like, what is going on? Go to the gym says, keep it up, the great work. Keep up the great work, he says. I read it wrong, right? For $20, man, you did that the other day too. It's very generous. And if you've never been on the other side, I don't know if I know your name's Go to the Gym. Maybe you run a gym platform or a channel or something. But if you've never been on the other side of this, making content, being live, then you'll never understand how much those super chats mean to me, right? And the fact that you dropped a super chat for $20, bro, you the man. Real talk. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, and on the side note, if you do have a social media or something that you do, please link it to the Discord or message it to me in Discord because I would love to know about it. I'm big into, working out and stuff like that. So if you're doing something like that, maybe it's just your name. I don't know. But if you do, let me know. And if I like it, I'll definitely shout you out. And I'm sure that I will, right? New all-time high for Underground. Yeah, Bankroll, he dropped a $20 super chat the first day he was here. He's a lifer. Giver's gain. He knows the secret to success here. Ollie says, no, I'm a lifer. What's up, Ollie? Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching. Study Caspa, green pill yourself at ASAP. Cool, Ollie, you're big on Caspa, right? Isn't that what you're saying? I own some Caspa. So first of all, don't think that I'm bearish on Caspa. But what happened with the KRC20 launch and stuff? I know there was a lot of buzz about it, and I don't hang out in that world as much. So maybe you know a little bit more about it. Maybe you can educate me. This is a good point. I'm going to take 2 seconds here and just tell everybody one of the big parts. There's like 3 big parts of why I started this channel and what I was trying to build. What did I set out? What was the goal? And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, so don't click away. But I really wanted to bring a bunch of people together who are passionate about crypto, but hopefully in many different ways. Some people might be traders like Bankroll, right? And they're trying to make, some money or a living off of trading, and they're excited. And I love that. That's why I love Bankroll. And then maybe other people are really excited about DeFi protocols and, ecosystem, lending ecosystem, passive income, stuff like Flare Network, the Blues guy. That's why he's amazing too, is because he's really excited about the Flare ecosystem and how interconnected it is with so many things, which it is. I hope you guys are watching those videos we put out. I'm going to have another one for you tomorrow. So I hope that you're watching those. Now, so we've been doing stuff together, but anything that you have a passion for, I want to see you come to our chat and hang out, help us raise our crypto IQ, tell us about what you're doing. Like, we care about what you're doing and what you're looking at. So to the guy who just started talking about Caspa, that's what's made it click and remember in my mind that I wanted to say this more often. If you know a lot about Caspa and you're really into it, dude, join the Discord. Talk to us. Tell us what you got going on. Post on the daily new stuff that you find so that we can go on this journey with you. It's kind of like in crypto, there's too much stuff for every person to go into every category and be well versed and know everything, right? We need community. We need people who specialize in niche in the stuff that they're excited about, and then in their excitement come back to our community and talk to all of us, make friends, have people get excited too, have people to share your excitement with is a big deal. That was another big reason why I started this channel. I was deep diving, I was finding cool stuff, and I had nobody to talk to about it at all. If you know any crypto people in real life, you're blessed, because the reality is most people don't know even one person to talk real crypto with. Not just like, oh, I know what Bitcoin is. Like, oh, okay, cool. But like, do you know what Pudgy Penguin is? Like, do you know Dogecoin? They probably would know, but like, I don't know, pick anything that's not in the top 100 in crypto. They probably have never heard of it. Welcome to Underground Basics. Did you just buy a membership, bro? Man, that's awesome, bro. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. We get deep in the Discord. Exactly. No filters, he says. Passion, we love passion. Hey, and he says no filters, but let's keep it reasonable, right? Let's don't be talking anything too overly crazy in the Discord, just because I don't want people to get distracted. I'll be honest, I don't really care about a curse word or something like that, but don't drop one in every 4 words, please. I don't care about a couple, and I'm not gonna police it to death. If I need to say something, I'll just message you. Anyway, so true. Nice. Go to the gym. Nice, man. Hey, let's see those custom emojis. You know what? Let's do a thing here, guys, where we celebrate when somebody buys a membership. Say, thank you to whoever they are, and then drop those emojis. That way they just unlock those custom emojis, and then they can drop them too. I was pretty excited when I unlocked the emojis for Lifer's channel. That was a lot of fun. I made those emojis. One of them needs to be fixed. I promise I will fix that. It's supposed to be a brain with a Bitcoin logo in the middle, kind of simulating raising your crypto IQ. And for whatever reason, when I imported it, it like flattened it. Do you guys think I should fix it, or you guys like it the way it is, right? Thank you for following your dreams, and in that way inspire others to live their best life. Yeah, that K messed me up hard. Others to live their best lives. Hey, always, man. A lot of people might not know that, I'm not saying I made millions of dollars by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a pretty good business, a couple of them. And it was making good money. And I put all that down to follow my dream and do this. And so, when you follow your dreams, you make sacrifice. That's what I really want to tell people when he says, encouraging people to follow their dreams and inspire. Like, it takes sacrifice, right? You're not going to build something amazing with low effort and little encouragement, right? But you can build something amazing if you believe in yourself and work at it. The real part to it, honestly, is work. Hey, Sam always says, what is the secret? Getting started. Don't wait. You know, I could have waited, right? I was deep diving crypto. I could have said, boy, let me wait another couple of years until I know more about crypto. I'll always be knowing more about crypto. Why not do it together with a community of people? And by the way, this is River's chart. We're trading River on weeks. That's what I'm doing. Top quality material. Thanks, man. You were really nice. I love when I get new community members who are awesome like that. You definitely are a lifer. I love, one of the greatest things is Sam shouting me out. It's 100% organic. I've never asked him to do that. But the people who come over from the Lifers channel, and this is nothing against anybody who found me organically, just top-notch people. And if you're coming here and you don't know who the Lifer is, or you haven't spent any time listening to Sam and stuff, highly encourage it. It's a morning stream. It doesn't really conflict with my stream. On the weekends, I go later than him, so you can watch both. You'll get so much out of it. He's a powerful dude. He really is. Power, getting started. Exactly. If you never get started, you can't be great, or build something great for that matter. All right, let me slow down. I've preset it enough. Okay, so here's what I'm doing, guys, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. I wish Camsta was here. Where is, oh, Camsta is here. I think he is. Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure Camsta was here because I think Camsta, this could potentially, I'm not telling you what to do, this could be a good strategy for you. And I did kind of explain it to Blues Guy too, but now I can demonstrate it a little bit better. I wish I wasn't already in a trade, because then I could demonstrate this to you a lot more, right? Anyways, let's go down. Top call. Yep. It's too small to know what those emojis are. I guess I made them, so I know what they are. So one is the channel logo. The other one is like the palming your head because out of like frustration. Like say you were trying to explain something to somebody and they didn't get it, and you're like, whatever, you're never going to get it. So you could even call it like the I give up frustration emoji. Then you have the guy, he's going like this, you know, he's kind of like bowing. It's a respect emoji. And then you have the brain with a Bitcoin logo in it that is like raising your brain or your crypto IQ, right? It's getting more blockchain or Bitcoin in your brain. So now that I've explained them, I think I need to fix the brain one. Maybe, you know, maybe you guys don't mind it. I don't know. It kind of wasn't what I envisioned. Crypto research, and could be another. All right. You feeling better? All better. I'm here. Yeah. Once I said that you weren't here, Camsta, I realized that you were here. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this. Thank you, bro. You're very kind. To bankroll. Love that. Love how close-knit we are here. I know. I keep acting like I'm about to say it, and then I don't. So I'm trying to hold you guys here. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, what I do is I started with $400, right? And the way that it works, at least it's set up on mine, you can toggle this from like, you know, if you're in USDT, is it by lots? For me, there's a percentage drag, right? And this is talking about the percentage of how much money I have in it. So to start a trade, I just drag like 2%, right? And then I open the trade. That gives me a position, right? Well, you're going to have, especially on a coin like this, you're going to have really high liquidation. And because I only put 2%, usually 2% is like $30, you know, $30, and I'm on 20x leverage. And then I immediately come down to margin and I click the plus and I add $150 to start with, right? So say that my liquidation, say I got in right now at 76 and my liquidation was like 70, 70 on the dot, right? It's probably a little bit higher. It's probably like 71. And then I add $150. Then all of a sudden my liquidation is no longer, 71. It's like 66, it's way, way lower. So now I've made a position. I'm barely in it, right? And so at that point, I've lowered my margin. So I'm kind of walking you through this. Very, very tiny amount of your money. And it's percentage based, not an actual amount. And then you lower your liquidation rate. So now my liquidation rate is, where is it? 62, right? And we're all the way up here at 71. So I'm basically $10 away, which is a good amount for River. Now you'll see my margin as at $911, right? But very little of that money is in the trade. Most of it is in the margin. We pulled down. I got in like up here, right? I actually got in a little bit higher. I just had bought some positions and it brought me down. And so when it dumped really hard on me, actually it was like right here, and then it dumped really hard on me, I added more margin. So I started with 150 bucks. So you need a decent amount of money so that you can keep adding. If you have less money, maybe you could lower your leverage, something like that. And so basically I'm getting in the chat. Let me not get distracted so I can lay this out for you. And I'll do it a few times here in real time. So now I have a position and I've lowered my margin. If it pumps, honestly, if it pumps, it's good. It's free money. But I don't have a lot of money in the position. What I really want is I want it to go down against me. So, and think about how beautiful this is. Usually when it goes against you, you're freaking out because you're getting closer to your liquidation and you're watching the number go down. Right now we're down like $276. I definitely should have been paying a little bit more attention here. Let me go to the 1 minute. I'm on the 5 minute. Dang it, I want to be on the 5 minute. And so you'll see we dumped from this level where I bought in. I think realistically out of this $900, there's like $160 actually in the trade. Right, so I'm really in like $160 to $200 on 20x. The rest is all margin to keep me far away from my liquidation, right? And I still have $737 on the sidelines. So then I let it dump, or it pumps and I take my money immediately, right? And basically I'm chilling now until I feel like we're getting a little bit of a turnaround. When I feel like we just had another big dump down. So now is not necessarily the moment to add. So I'm going to buy more position. And when I buy more position, you'll see my green line, my break even drop down. And then I need very little move to get up in the green. That's the whole idea. So I'm going to mitigate myself in the trade to break even being very close. And here, right here, I'll add 2% real quick, right? And 2% is, ignore the liquidation because this is 2% by itself. It's $11 right now is 2%, right? So when I do that, matter of fact, let me add 3 or 4% because I want to see the green line move down, right? So when we add this $25 on 20x leverage, let's add it. Boom. You saw it move down? So now we're like at 76 on the dot, where before we were like closer to 77. Now, usually I wait until it looks like it's bottomed out. That is going to change my liquidation a little bit. So you have to keep watching. When you add more money, it's going to change your liquidation a little bit. So you do have to keep an eye. But my liquidation just went from 62 to 63. We're up here at 71. So I'm a good distance away from my liquidation. Does everybody understand kind of what I'm saying here? So when this thing looks like it's turned around, when it looks like it's starting to get a nice big pump and move up, I'll add significantly more money into this position, and then this green line will move down. It'll go green. I'll be up money, and I'll take it. That's another thing about this strategy is you got to take the money really fast. If I'm up $20, $50, $60, I can set, an order so that it fills when it like I say I was up $80 and I set an order for 60 and then it comes down and this thing moves quickly, so it would probably come down, but a lot of times I just take my money and get back in, and I just keep doing this over and over and over and over, and sometimes it pops really hard. Sometimes I'm like up immediately $150 to $200 and I just sell and I take it and I rinse it and I get back in. Like I have, $700 plus $900 in this account, and I've already taken $700 out of it. I started with $400. So the strategy really does work. But what do you want to keep in mind? Well, don't start with too much. When you're using this strategy, I don't start with too much money in my first position. Because if you start with too much money and then it moves against you, you will need a lot more money to move this green line down. If you can't move this green line to break even, your break even down, then you're going to be probably stuck in the trade for a really long time. That's just the truth of the matter, right? And usually after every pull down, we have a little bit of pump. When we had this pull down here, right here, you got a little bit of pump. I was driving home, so I didn't mitigate my way out of it. And then we had this pull down here. I got home and immediately started live streaming. I did not get to mitigate. Then you had a little bit of pump here, and I was doing what was trending, and I didn't get a chance to mitigate. Now we're finally getting this pump down here, and maybe I can actually mitigate my way out of here. The thing is that we do have to sit on it a little bit and just watch it, or at least I have to bounce back and forth a lot. So, you know, just keep in mind that that might become a little bit more part of the show here. Let me delete all these things. I don't have like a back button that just deletes them all. It's kind of annoying, like you would have in TradingView. Delete, delete, delete. And it is a little bit sketchy sometimes when you add money, because now you're changing your liquidation and you're changing how much money, you know, is in the trade. So you really want to make sure that it's really turning around and you're ready before you add any money. And this is just my opinion. This is what I'm doing. What I do a lot, but when it hurts, it hurts. Exactly. And that's why you don't want to put too much money in bankroll. Because when you're ready to add like significant amount of money to get out, like you want it to be like big candles going to the upside. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I just arrived a few days ago, and I already feel at home. Underground is on point. Knowledge and humility. This is true power. Hey, well said, and I'm so glad that you came over and that you feel at home here already, because we're not going to stop, man. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep bringing you as much stuff as we possibly can. Yeah, I usually start with 50%. Yeah, don't start with 50%. If you're using this strategy, I don't know, if you're doing something else, and I added that little bit of money just to show you the green line going down. This thing doesn't look like it's done dumping right now. You know, it really doesn't. So I need to keep my capital on the side for lowering my margin and also buying in. So you really need to have a good amount of money. But even though this has gone down against me a lot, I'm only down like $300, and I haven't really added much money at all to my position. I haven't. So when I do add money, this thing is going to move down very drastically, very quickly. I just have to keep an eye on my liquidation. Anyways, that's what I'm saying right now. And we'll be bouncing in and out of it. I just wanted to explain it to you so that when I'm doing stuff, maybe you'll have some idea of what I'm doing. Yes, sir. Underground, attracting a real mastermind team. Yeah, when you do this, you can't rush to add. That's well said, dude. Like, bankroll. That's the biggest part of this whole strategy that I want everybody to take away from this is, like, you can't add money too quickly. A lot of times I only add a little bit of money and I lower my break even. And then I let it naturally come up. Like, I don't force it. I don't get my green line to like right where it is, because that requires a lot of money, and I don't want it to turn around and go sideways on me and I'm all eaten up from it. Now, what I do want to say is there you can get eaten. If something takes a god candle to the downside, you could get your stop loss hit. You know, that's why I like to keep my stop loss on these trades literally like, well, because this is not Bitcoin, right? It's not, you know, hundreds of thousands or, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. It's only, you know, $71 right now. I like to keep myself a good $10 away. So let's add another $100. Let's see what that does for us. Confirm. Yeah, that got me down to 71.5. That's almost $10 away. Usually I've been doing the price thing where you can measure, or percentage, sorry, not price, percentage, where you can measure the percentage. And usually when this thing has a violent move down, it's usually about 10%. So that kind of gives me the ability to think about, you know, what I need to be at. I want to be like 15% away from price action at all time. And you can go to your trading view and grab your price, or your price or percentage. I don't know why I keep saying price. Sorry, your percentage tool, and pull it down like a good 15% and see how far away you need to be. And that'll help you gauge how much money you want to have in a trade, because you don't want to use your capital too quick. Putting it in the margin is one thing. And just so you know, when you click margin, you can add margin, but you also can reduce margin. You see what I'm saying? You could reduce your margin as well. So keep that in mind. All right, where are we at? Unless you get a real dip and when to add, I mess up DCA too early. Yep, instead of waiting for the real dip. I used to do it like every 1% down, I DCA setup. Yep, leverage percentage, that is. Yep, this is easy on BTC but hard on alts. I lost a bag on Sol that way when it went to 117 last time. Yeah, cool, man. I'm going to try out. Sweet. And, the thing is, Camsta is like, I don't know. I think you probably at least want to work with like $200. Maybe try it out in a demo first. I think would be a good idea. But you do want to understand you are trading, and there is always risk to trading. Like, you're never zero risk, right? Says I was hiding down there and I thought they won't come as low, and it hasn't in a long time and they got me. Right, but when it started coming down, did you have dry powder on the side to add to your margin, or you already had too much money in the trade to start with? Like, if you're not used to big price swings, it's hard. Yeah, exactly. And even though I traded it over the weekend and did really well, it wasn't very volatile. It was nice. It was very range bound. Now, since Monday has started, I don't know if it'll be like this tomorrow as bad, but man, we had some crazy dips earlier today. I'll have to show it to you on the regular chart. And this doesn't really look all that great to me, but this is the pattern that I've seen it makes a lot of times before it pumps. Even though it looks like a descending triangle, a lot of times there's like a bit of a inverted head and shoulder in them. And it kind of looks like maybe you're getting that inverted head and shoulder. But who knows? You want to pay attention to your RSIs and your divergences on larger time frames. And look, like I said, boom, getting a big candle. And so I don't get excited until I see like some pretty big candles come out of this thing. Yeah, I added to where I thought I was going to be good under 117, and I wasn't. I should have had more to add. Yeah, really, when you're playing this game right here, you need to have a lot of capital. That's just the facts. And the problem is when you hit the bottom of your capital, like, you're locked in. And if it goes against you, it's going against you. Now, if it goes up into break even, you're probably going to make a lot of money really fast. But if it goes against you, you're cooked at that point. So that's why I never want to add everything I had. If I got down to like say only $200-300 back and the thing was still dumping on me, I'd probably just close the trade and take the loss. I'd rather lose $300, keep my capital, or even $400 or $500, keep my capital and be able to, run again, than to just be completely wiped out like $1,000. But with that said, on this channel, we are big about raising your crypto IQ. And so we have a segment and a series every week where we try to raise your crypto IQ about a topic. And you know what? It is that time. I just want to keep an eye on this for another 30 seconds while I sip my drink, because it looks like we're dumping. All right. Yeah. Getting real zoomed in here. Let's grab a trend line. And you can see that was some support. You could pull it down to the wicks, I guess. Because I'm all about, when I'm looking for how much lower we can go, I'm looking for the most previous wick. But this is the type of stuff it does usually right before it breaks that low wick, right? This fan is killing. Let me turn this fan off real quick. Yeah, you can't lose with dry. I just went on. It was fun trading undergrad UG, trading with you, bro. LOL. Oh boy, we did not sleep. Exactly. It was a lot of fun. And it looks like we're going lower. And this is, again, why I haven't added any money to this trade, because we're going lower, going lower, going lower. But right now, if I had to take a $300 or $400 loss, I've made, probably what? 30, but I probably made like $1,500 in the last couple of days. So I could take a real bad one and then keep it moving. But I don't want to, and I'm really stubborn, and I'll usually get it back. Like, I'll usually not lose it. Hope everyone is having a good night. What's up, TM Hustling? I hope you didn't miss this part where I was breaking down my new trading strategy. I hope that you caught that. If not, I'm sure I'll talk about it some more. I'm sure I'll go over it again. It looks like a little liquidity grab. We keep going lower than the previous wick. Grabbing. See, you add your previous. Here, let me grab our pencil here. Previous wick, liquidity grab. Previous wick. Let me delete this one. Right. Liquidity grab. So what does that mean? Are we going to have another previous wick? At some point, it's going to want to turn around and mitigate, or not mitigate. It's going to want to accumulate, manipulation, distribution. So it's going to want to distribute to the upside at some point here. And although this just looks like a huge gap, it's like, what is it? It's $5. Where is this thing going? The trade I was in this morning, I was down like $600. I did put a little bit too much money in it too fast. And you can have rules, but it's easy to mess up and mess up your rules, basically. Shout out to the whole underground crew. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying that. Play with house money feels best. Yeah, so I started with $400, and then I took $700 out of and moved it to my spot wallet out of my trading. So I'm playing with all house money. If I lost all of my money here, I'm just playing with house money, right? It's not crazy. I don't know why it says realized P&L $174. Why does it say that? Bankroll, do you know why it says $174 in realized P&L? I have no idea. Why is it so much money? How could I possibly be up $174? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if you go down here to this BTC trade that I've been absolutely stuck in for forever, it has come up quite a bit. I was down like $5.50 yesterday. My realized P&L is only like $12, and this is usually what they charge you for trading fees. So if you hover over it, trading fees, why am I getting $174? A funding fee of a positive $178. Is that a real thing? Is that really why I've been making so much money? I'm so confused. Why would I have a $178 funding fee positive? Funding rate, bro. Is the funding rate on this thing like literally ginormous? Is that what it is? That's some drawdown. Got to be able to stomach the win. Yeah, and if you play this strategy, it's not for the faint of heart. Like, you got to be able to watch your position go down a lot. Bro, the ones running like that pay you funding fees. It's a lot of funding fee. Yeah, bro, I did on MemeX. I remember you telling me about funding fees, man. That's really cool. I want to go on. See, this is the other thing about doing trading live with the community and stuff, is that when we start doing it and the trade starts doing all this nonsense, then it's kind of like I have to sit here with it a little bit. Like, I can't just go on to something and ignore my trade. All right, we just hit one of my alerts here. It says I can handle that to my wallet because it paid me more than my position. I was like, I'm never selling. That's hilarious. Okay, so it immediately put it in. I was trying to figure out why the heck I had like $600 left when I only had like $1,000 to start with, and now I have significantly more money. Yo, what is this thing doing? This thing is absolutely ripping to the downside. But I'm confident it's going to turn around at some point. You really do have to be kind of numb and okay with what you're doing here. And of course, I'm in isolated, guys. I'm not in cross. Not in a cross position. I'm in isolated. And I don't have auto margin on. I don't know. Where's that button? Auto add margin. I don't know where it's at. But there is a button that says auto add margin. That might be the money saved on fees, as a Mexi River has no fees. Maybe made a 2,000% win on it, 7 to 17, then sold it. I see Bubba, bro. They had shorts paying the longs. Ouch. Lock in, bro. Oh yeah, I'm locked in. I need to be paying attention to it is what I need to be doing. This thing will turn around. I've been in this position so many times here. It's another big dump. What we're looking for here now is, personally, I'm looking for this candles to break here. That's probably not the way that I wanted to do it. Let's get rid of that. I want to break that candle, and we can get rid of that line. So the new line to stay above is 68, and you'll see my liquidation is down here at 58.5. So I'm still like $10 away, but it does eat up some of my dry powder as far as adding money. But if I added like, $200 this trade right now, I bet that my break even would come down very, very drastically. I'm just not ready to add yet because it seems like it's still dumping. If you look at top where it says funding rate, it says positive, negative, keep the eye on that countdown. Okay. That must be where some of the money came from. All right, where are we at? Where is this open, long, or short position at the price? That's a limit. Where is it that it says funding rate? I've seen it before, but I don't really remember where it is. Is it at the bottom? Price source. Max is 50x leverage. They must have increased the leverage. The max was 20x leverage the last time that I saw this thing. I just can't believe it's $174. Can't believe I'm down $450 now. But again, this morning I was in a trade and it went all the way back up. I mitigated out of it. I was down $600. Where is the funding rate here? Maybe he's about to tell me. It will tell you where it came from if you hover over it. Where is it, bro? I know it's hard for you to like tell me right now while I'm live. Anyways, so we're watching this for a minute. Oh, I don't know, for weeks. Exactly. I've seen it before too. Like I found it the other day. Okay, here. Funding rate countdown. So the funding rate is estimated according to the previous funding period. When positive, the longs pay the shorts. When negative, the shorts pay the longs. Right. And there's a countdown. It's got another 36 minutes. So do I get this money no matter what, or do I have to wait for that countdown to go away? I think I get that money no matter what. Maybe I don't. Maybe you get that money, but then it doesn't pay it out. It doesn't pay out until, later. All right, cool. Then go to your P&L and hover over it. It tells you where it comes from. Realized P&L equals closed P&L plus funding fees plus transaction. Okay. So have we found a bottom here for River? That is the question. Let's go look at the 3-minute. So you do have some bullish divergence here as you take. But just because you have bullish divergence doesn't always mean that it's gonna kick in that often, that quickly. This is the 3-minute chart. It is divergence, but it's not super strong divergence at all. Because look, they're still going up together. The good divergence would be this pointing literally down. That would be much stronger. All right, let me get rid of these lines. And everything's got to be reset. I mean, 15-minute or 5-minute on the ground, 15-minute on the ground, 30-minute almost to the ground, 1 hour still pretty low. That 1 hour is making an inverted head and shoulder. Let's see, right here you made an inverted head and shoulder. You got a really big pump. You can even see the patterns, guys, in the RSI. Look, inverted head and shoulder. big head and shoulder. When this, if you draw a line straight up, if you look here, that's when this big move happened. I hate when I draw a bunch of lines and I don't have the back button to delete them. Maybe we need to go to trading view at some point here. All right, let's go back to the 1 minute, as it looks like this thing still wants to dump. I got the line drawn, so, and we didn't go up and break this line that I wanted to see, which says there's probably more downside coming. Underground getting nervous, LOL. It pays out to your wallet. Not necessarily. I've been down like this. I was down like this morning. No big deal. Good thing you are going over the funding fees. It really helps newcomers in crypto. Yeah. And I honestly don't look at the funding fees as much as I probably should. Probably because I always trade BTC and I don't really trade altcoins very much. That's why this has been a very different experiment to me. Anyways, we're chilling at 68.7. And we'll see if we are going to get a little bit higher here. Down $500. But again, the strategy is to get the drawdown. I just need the turnaround. I don't know why this alert for River keeps going off. It's from an earlier trade. Yeah, I want to edit alert. Let me get rid of that. It was so weird. Somehow I keep setting alerts on like a different River chart. And then it keeps, I don't know, it keeps going off, and I don't know where that chart is. Looks like 67 might be the end of this, or under 67 might be the end of it. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. So many tabs open. And guys, remember, it's like a rubber band a lot of times. The harder it gets pulled back, the harder it pumps when it pumps. And we haven't broke that line yet, but it looks like it's going to. I don't know if people are longing and they're just going after liquidity on the longs. You got to think at 68, they have to have eaten a lot of liquidity, right? And again, guys, remember, I could lose $500-600 and I would not be in the negative. I already took my initial money out. So I'm playing with complete house money here. My problem is I'm all in and these continues to draw down. Yeah, you have to be patient. You have to be patient and kind of ready to execute. And another thing is, like, I don't try to get my break even all the way down here because it takes too much money. Like, I do need a little bit of a pump. Like, I need a good $3-4 pump after I move down, because I'll probably aim to get my break even. I'll probably aim to get it. I don't have my quick lines like here. That's probably where I'm going to aim to get it down. So that's only from 76 to 73, but I'm not doing it until I see this thing bounce. So what do I do from here? A lot of times I'm going to go set an alert somewhere, right? So it'll go off so that I can do the crypto IQ raising event of the night. This is one of my favorite things, so I hope you guys are here. I love watching you trade UGA. I'm glad that you guys like it because, you know, it takes a minute and there's a lot to do, a lot of just kind of watching price and stuff like that. And so I hope people kind of somewhat like it. All right, so I have an alert set so we can go do the crypto IQ raising event. Maybe I need to do this before we do trade stuff, right? All right, crypto has been around for more than a decade. Billions of dollars, millions of users, and thousands of projects. And yet, we still talk about scaling like it's something that hasn't arrived yet. So tonight, instead of talking about solutions like we've been doing, we're starting the real question. Why is this still so hard for crypto? What people think scaling means. Most people hear scaling and think faster transactions and lower fees and more users, and that's a part of it. But scaling isn't just about speed. It's about coordination, security, incentives, and human behavior. Block space is scarce. Every blockchain produces a limited amount of block space. That space is shared by users, bots, arbitrage, and applications. When demand rises, fees rise. Congestion appears. This isn't a bug. This is economics. Fees are signal. High fees doesn't mean the chain is broken. They mean demand exceeds the supply. The problem is users experience pain, not theory. Decentralization versus scale. The more decentralized a system is, the slower it becomes and the harder it is to coordinate. Fast systems often use centralized validators, reduce redundancy. Trade-offs are unavoidable. UX, which is user experience. User experience is the real wall. Even if scaling improves, wallets are confusing, bridges are risky, and onboarding is difficult. Technology can't scale. UX often doesn't. Technology can scale. User interface often doesn't. Social scaling. Crypto requires people to self-custody, understand risk, manage keys. That's massive ask, right? So social scaling crypto requires people to self-custody and understand the risk and manage their own personal keys. And that's a massive risk to a lot of people, and they're just not confident enough in themselves to do that. So most systems scale socially before they scale technically. Coordination problems. Upgrades require consensus, agreements, and alignments. Decentralization slows decision making. That's the price. So when you have all of these DAOs and all of these things and they have to be voted on, it's not like a company or somebody who owns a company and they can just quickly make a decision and they're like, this is how it is. Easy decision, move on. You have to do a big conversation. You got to get support for what you're trying to do. You have to explain what you're trying to do. And that can take a lot of time. It slows down movement. So why solutions take time? Scaling solutions introduce new risk. Change incentives and shift power. Nothing comes for free. The core insight, crypto scaling isn't blocked by a lack of ideas. It's constrained by the trade-offs. Every solution solves one problem and creates another, right? So you're constantly solving problems and creating new problems to be solved. In closing, crypto will scale, but not magically, not instantly, and not without compromise. Understanding why it's hard is the first step to understanding which solutions actually matter here in crypto. And back to the trade. And we're dipping again. I think we're going to 67 for sure. All right. Thank you, Melissa, for putting all the Twitter and the YouTube links in here. I appreciate you. Where do we leave off? Okay, barely any licks left to fit to 65. Oh, any liquidity? Barely any liquids left, a little bit to 65. But you almost got it all. Watch for MACD to flip. Yeah, I like this a lot to UG. Okay. The good time to trade is closer to 8:30 though. I think you should do this more often and banter as you trade and teach people the lessons like this. I can't believe crypto has been around for 10 years, still kind of new. Yeah. And I'm glad you guys are liking this because I enjoy doing this. It's fun. We're getting a bounce here. I'm not confident in this bounce yet. This bounce needs to break these levels there for me to have any confidence in this bounce. All right, let's see. Love and gratitude to all. Thank you, Melissa. Raising that crypto IQ, gaining knowledge in abundance. Like and subscribe, and join that Discord. We've had good numbers tonight, guys. Thank you for keeping this chat running. It is very important. It's the, aside from hitting the like button and the subscribe, which you can only really do once. The like you can do once per stream. Supporting your boy out here in his dream of making this channel great and have a great community. Putting chats in the chat and keeping that chat rolling tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, people are engaged and they like what's going on in this stream. Feed more people to the stream. And emojis can be cool, but I notice that authentic conversation brings more people than like spamming emojis. I don't think spamming emojis and stuff is bad. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do know that a lot of times I see a lot of people pop in all of a sudden when there's good organic conversation going on. Like when we were talking about AI earlier, we all of a sudden had like 22 people in here. So that's how the algorithm works. Let's see. Much gratitude to all. Blessings, my people. Underground to man. Night, night. Camsta. Oh, is he out of here? Have a good night, Camsta. I don't know how I missed that. We'll catch you in the next one. Stay underground. Stay crypto. Keep it simple. I like that. Melissa just says we. All right, let's see if we can hold here. I'm going to actually shift us from this page to actual trading view, which I'm sure River is already up. Yep, there we go. And because I want to bounce into like the hour real quick and look at some things. So we're well past our 21. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, looks like we're coming down to maybe the 4 hour on the 21, which is at like 63, 64. That's why I kept that dry powder on the side, guys. And I have some more even that I can move over if I need to protect my position. But hopefully I'm not going to need it. I think maybe we might get a little bit of a bounce here. 67. Yo, what's going on? Why does it say? Yeah, it's so wacky. It like says we're up at like 72. We're not at 72, are we? No, we're down here at like 68. We're losing the 15-minute 200. Looks like a big head and shoulder there. And who knows? At some point, like I might take a heavy hit. I've made quite a bit here. And so that would take us to 52. Whew. At that point, I'd have to sell and just get the heck out of Dodge and fight another day. This is dicey. Very dicey. But even when the regular RSI bottoms out, like you are bottomed out. 30 minutes about to bottom out. The 1 hour is already low. It's not really moved that dry. Yeah, you have a big head and shoulders here. The only thing that's really going to hold you up is like support. The only thing that's really going to stop you much is divergence. You do have some divergence. That gives you like 48. I think River might be done. It might be going to zero, guys. Just kidding. It'll most likely get stopped by a moving average. But if we lose that 15 and we don't get back above it quickly, you might be rolling to like the 1 hour. Yeah, that 200. I mean, the 200 would come up a little bit before you actually get there. The Flare network will swallow everything. My thoughts on the recent announcement of Kraken Tier 1 Exchange looking to integrate Firelight vaults into their DeFi earn programs. Yep. Blues Guy says, bro, you are good. Hey, I appreciate that. Zebekin holders, I follow always posting Flare now. Nice. Your daily needs to come down too, bro. Come down too. Your daily needs to come down. Yeah, I see that. All right. Remember, crypto never moves just one way. The market feeds off emotions, making you take a loss. Hey, that's well said. I like that. Let's go to the 15 and see what we got going on. We do have a little bit of divergence here as far as bullish divergence. And the RSI is reset. Now, this divergence isn't amazing. It's not too bad, actually. It's decent divergence. They're definitely like, you know, in different directions. This one's more flat. That one's more up. Maybe we get a little bounce on the 15-minute. Let's go down to the 5. Hasn't hit my alert yet, but it's like so close. It's threatening. And if anything, it's probably going for the liquidity under these wicks here. That's kind of what I think is going on. All the people who longed this bottom here, they're coming down to snatch you. And who knows, maybe it goes farther. He said 65. There was liquidity all the way to 65. So nice. Anybody tell me, I think, is this what you were talking about the other day, Blues guys? See this little bit of like color that's in your RSI? I can't say that off the top of my head I remember what the heck that is. Oh, I got to big sneeze. Hail the Flare King. Hey, there you go. Yep, Blues Guy has definitely been talking all about that flare. All right. So maybe the flare videos that we're doing will get lots of attention. That would be amazing. Let's go to the 3-minute. Yep, you already grabbed the liquidity like under these wicks. You're like, yeah, you've already grabbed that liquidity for sure. All right, let's go to the 1 minute. So that bounce obviously didn't sustain itself. Like I said, I didn't believe in the bounce until we got back up here. And there goes that alert that says, hey, we grabbed liquidity. And it's funny because sometimes it gets a nice wick. Sometimes it just gets like the tiniest wick under liquidity. Because here, let's draw another line here. See, this was the previous liquidity. And right here, you've dipped. The people who were hugging real tight under that, it could go lower, but a lot of times that's all it needs to grab a significant amount of liquidity, because people would just drop their stop losses right under it. And a lot of times they set their trade, they know their risk reward ratio, and that's that. Let's go to like the 5 minute. Let's see. Okay, you do have divergence on the 5. Or maybe not. No, I had some of it cut off. I couldn't see it. So no, there's not really divergence on the 5. There does seem to be divergence on the 15. I don't know why it's so high. Maybe because I was messing with the hour. So you can see there's bullish divergence, but it's not hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence tends to be a lot stronger than just regular divergence. And I see a pretty big head and shoulders. If this thing is starting that head and shoulder dip, or I guess you could even say this. If this is what it's doing, I mean, River is cooked, like it's done. If it's going down to 58, I don't know if it's completely over, but I mean, you're going to shake a lot of people's confidence in this coin if it goes down that hard. What would flush it down that hard? I'm not exactly sure, but that is a big flush. And I like that the RSI for the 15 minute is out. If we could turn around, like we could get a lot of pump up to the top. And going to the 3, I think the 3 minute, when you have a lot of this going on, I think the 3 minute almost becomes like the 1 minute to me. The only thing is it takes forever to close candles, and that part kind of is like you just sitting and waiting. Okay, he says, Underground, I put it in the Discord. Thank you. Ladies and gents, we have celebrity in our midst. Give up on the flare. That's hilarious. Does River correlate with BTC? No, because a lot of times, yesterday BTC was dumping most of the time, and it was pumping. Underground, if you want to get out of your trade, you will most likely have to be able to by 2-3 a.m. Because I would, okay, Blues you man. Thank you for saying that, TM Hustling. Yeah, a lot of times, honestly, I get in these trades, and sometimes they go down drastically against me, and it takes hours for me to get out. But when I get out, I usually get out with profit, right? BTC can dump, River pumping. Now, do they flip? Huh. I don't think so, because it pumped earlier and BTC was also pumping. I think it's just kind of doing its own thing, but I don't really know. So, have we found a bottom? Let me go over to the Discord. Let me port us over to the Discord so we can see that. And where are we at? Discord. Okay. And this is his tab. Man, it started to melt here. Thank God, my shipping delayed. Yep. All right. Let's go to whatever he just put in here. And let me bring my trade up on my screen so I can actually see the dang thing. Okay. My liquidation's still 58. I'm still like 10 away. But it did eat up a lot of my side money. I only got like 411. Okay, so what the heck am I looking at? So this is liquidation. This is for River? Okay, River liquidation. This is really cool. I know you said something about this the other day. I want to one tab this. Again, guys, if you don't know about one tab, where you can just store anything immediately, grab it real easy, and have it all the time. Then you go to this little button here and you go to lock. So you can lock that. Oh, so good. All right, I like this. So what? Is this saying that all the liquidity is above us now? Yeah, now it looks like the highest liquidity. Does this thing move in real time? Like, what is this? Is it going to update, or do I have to like refresh it a bunch? Yeah, it looks like there's not much liquidity left. Liquidation leverage, maybe 65. This says price 0. So down at 65.6, there's only 181,000. I don't know, is that a lot? This coin is a little bit smaller. It's not Bitcoin, right? And what's up with these over here on the side, guys? Like, is that past stuff? Don't mind the other banter. Click the heat map. This is liquidation heat map, right? Isn't that what we're doing? Is this still for river? Yep. Pairs symbol. Liquidity threshold. I mean, this says you have a nice bit of liquidity up here. You have 1 million in liquidity at, what is this? At 78. And then all the way back up to 86. Oh, we can't see it. Duh. Sorry about that. All right, now you can see it. Good thing I look at the chat sometimes. If it's a gold zone, that's a lot for a specific project. Yeah. So now you can see it. Did we bounce a little bit? Come on, refresh. I'm going to go back to it in just a second. Just give me a second. So now we're at 66. I'm going to add a little bit to my margin because I don't really want this thing to hit me. I can always deduct some margin if we start pumping like crazy. So now I'm down to 55. All right, now let's get back over to this, talk about this. This helps me so much. Yeah, this is a great tool. See, I use Bookmap for BTC a lot, but I've never looked to see if I can change it to like River or something like that. So I'd be really interested to see that. Maybe we'll play around with that in a minute, right? Once we start to get a bounce here, then I'd be really happy. I don't know what's on my microphone. Said, I like when I wonder why support was barely broken and then it bounces. I peep this and be like, oh, they looking for liquid. Yeah, they're all, I mean, market makers are always looking for liquidity. We pumped until the February 17th, guys, talking about silver. But anyways, so what do I get from this? We're done with liquidity after, say, 65.5. There's nothing even there. You have, here, okay, let me zoom in on this. Can I make this bigger? Oh, what is going on? I broke it. Yo, what is going on? I guess this is the only size it can be, I guess. It just really made it smaller. All right, I'm going to stop messing with that. Come all the way over to current price action. Right now we're at 66. So there's just, if they really want to completely clear it out, there's just at 181 or 131,000 at 65.9. That's not very much farther to go here, 65.9. Yeah, I like what he said, 2 to 3 a.m. Yeah, that's probably what it is. This is one of the hardest draws. It's so funny. I should know this by now. I should know. When I go to show things and talk about it, that's when they do the most insane things ever, right? This is a good drawdown, but this is probably the deepest drawdown so far. But it's good practice. What I get from it, this is all going to range, in my opinion, on River, all related to build more close liquidity. Crypto pump until then, enjoy. Okay. Till February 17th. Hey, I'll take it. That sounds good. All right, let's back to the chart. Now it's at that 65 level. Again, I'm down at 55 for liquidation. So it'd have to go another $10 on me, right? All right. 60, I think it was 65.6. Yeah, they went for that last bit of liquidity. So basically, based off of your heat map that you showed me, if we keep dipping, I don't know what they're going for at that point, right? Everybody just selling off. The thing that I really hate is that at the end of like these type of dumps, it's not unheard of to get like a God wick. That's what I hate. I hate that kind of thing. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. And if it does, I hope I'm deep enough. Because usually when a God wicks, it goes like right back up. Like immediately, like within a minute or less. Usually less than a minute candle. So there we are. We are at as low as 65.1. So they've swept that liquidity. Oh boy. Yeah, bro, the depth being February 17th and XRP. Yep, XRP gonna pampin'. I sure hope so. So the question always becomes, are we done yet? Are we there yet? They definitely just sweep that last bit of liquidity from this book map that he gave me. Like, is this thing even updated all the way? This thing's kind of sluggish, though. This thing is kind of, like, slow. Okay, maybe a little more than that. Okay, I'm learning how to use it a little bit better. So it says that we're at 66.1. Now, we're lower than that. Maybe I need to refresh this. Maybe that's what it is. So you got to constantly refresh it? Okay, now what the heck is going on? This is BTC. Why when I refresh it would it not go to what I'm already on? Yo, that's weird. I don't like that. All right, so it should give me river. I don't know why it like gave me something else. Threshold. Whoa. Okay. What do you usually have this threshold on? And I want it down just a little bit more. And let's zoom in to just this dump. Hopefully you get some V-shaped recovery here. If not, river's done, guys. Probably not true. But I don't think BTC is dumping like that. I'm thinking based off of your liquidity. Like down here, there's zero liquidation, zero liquidation, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's nothing down here. Oh, I saw something. Oh, wait. At 63.5, there's 339.2 thousand. I hate when people keep trying to long the bottom, and so they keep building liquidity because I don't feel like this was here a second ago. Maybe I don't get it. I also don't like how what I'm trying to look at is like way off to the side. Like I need it like in the middle of my screen. Like I want what the end is over here. I want it like in the middle. I don't want it way over here. It feels weird. Anyways, I digress. Bankroll, where you at? Bankroll, you be using this all the time. So tell me what the heck is going on. So there's a bunch of liquidity. There's $1 million of liquidity, 1.4 million at 80. So we should bounce to 80, right? Because it's not looking good for the bounce right here. Yeah, they do reposition often, so you gotta refresh. Okay, yeah. All right, it looks like maybe we have a dump, but like again, I'm gonna put my line here. If we don't break this line, wow, that was like a kindergartner with a crayon. If we don't break this line up here, I'm not going to believe that we're done. You can change the time frame too. Okay, can we? Where's the time frame? 24 hours. Let's do 12 hours. Okay. Okay. Well, I think I was already more, using the little thing on the bottom, I think it was already more bottomed in. So when it's on this side, bankroll, when it's on like the other side of the coin, like behind price action, is that like still there? Or is that gone? It is weird that it doesn't update. I wonder if I could get this on the Bookmap and get like a real time data feed. Yeah, this has changed a little bit. You should share the links of UG's videos on Flare for your people in the group. That could help the algorithm of UG's channel. Okay. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. Just me thinking out loud. Not Banks Forum. Taken, gone. I slowly getting some of them over here. Okay. Not Banks Forum says taken, gone. What does that mean? Thank you for coming in. I don't exactly know what you mean by that. So hopefully you're going to tell me. Yeah, look, that doesn't look like the end of the dump, guys. It does usually kind of make a little like shoulder, head, and shoulder, I've noticed, before it really significantly bounces. Usually if we did bottom, it does like a little kind of thing like that before you get a bigger move up. And it's already 11 o'clock. Boy, it's been a long day. We've already been live for 2.5 hours. How's everybody feeling? Have we bottomed on River? Do you love this channel? The liquidity on the left. Oh, okay. It's taken. It's gone. Okay. That's what I thought. Thank you for saying that. Not Bank Forum. I don't think I've ever seen you chatting here. Thank you for being here. And, you know, if you like all the chat and the people in the group, think about joining the Discord. It's free, and it's linked right in the chat. And I see that you've already found the chat. UG, I was saying that. Bankroll was saying that's his. Okay, I don't know where. I'm sorry, I'm lost in the chat a little bit, so you'll have to excuse me. Slowly getting some of them over here without making it poaching members. Exactly. Like if they DM me and ask me questions, I invite them over. Okay, cool, but I don't just send mass DMs telling them to join us. Okay, yeah, that's smart, Bankroll. That is smart. Go to River on the 48-hour liquidation. Let's do that. 48-hour. Okay. Why am I doing this? Okay. Looks very scary. Underground, I was saying that. Bankroll was saying that's his. Peeps are talking about Flare. Yep. Underground, change IoT to 48 hours. Did that. Much love, UG, Bankroll, Melissa, Camsta. Much love to all the people. Thank you for saying that. Can't trust this number. This number is not accurate here. Okay. It looked like maybe we were getting a little bit of a bounce. What am I down now? Probably significant. Yep, $742. That might take the cake for the biggest drawdown I've ever been in. My ZBCM peeps, the one talking about. Yeah, looks like you have hope. The RSI is oversold. Remember, the biggest moves are always in the morning. The bounce will start later tonight. Well, I have to survive. If we're gonna start the bounce later tonight, I have to survive till then. Wait till you peep this, Underground. Much love, crypto peeps. Gratitude, Underground, for bringing the sauce, because you can see the big licks. So on the bigger time frames. Okay. So just tell me in plain English, Bankroll, how cooked am I right now? You said it's scary, so what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm going lower? And it's getting hairy out here. Let's add our last like $200. And then it got me down to 52. And then I got to really think about maybe potentially taking a loss. Of course, I've been doing this for like 3 days straight and I've done nothing but make money. And then I come and do it on the stream and then it looks like I might have to take a significant loss. That is what it is, guys. And honestly, at this point, I should know that's going to happen. This is what always happens. As soon as you try to show people something or whatever, then it does the most retarded stuff. And what can you say? 59.50, I would dip if it reaches there, in my opinion. I mean, we got to be right there, right? This is very interesting that they just absolutely crushed this coin this hard, this quick. Is kind of insane, to be honest with you. Like, I've had to do some drawdowns, but like, this is next level crazy right now. And usually if you do eventually go down this hard, like, you usually at least still have some dead cat bounces. Like, you're not even getting a dead cat bounce. Like, did the biggest whale of river he sold off? Is that what happened? Very strange. Let's go to Trading View. Everybody, can you guys see, did I port us to Trading View? No, I did not. Let's go to Trading View. Yeah, it's insane. No dead cat bounce or anything. You're well into liquidity here. I just find it hard to believe that you have much support of a coin if you dip it this hard too many times. Like, these other dips, like, they're dips, but they're like kind of normal. Like, this is straight down. Like, BTC is falling off the map, kind of crazy types of dips here. Let's go put this at 59.54, whatever. Let's throw an alert on it. This is so pulled down, though, that you would think that when you do get a green candle, that thing should bounce quickly. Like, it should bounce hard. You are all awesome and love. Thank you. Hey, I love that the chat is just still running. You guys are the best. We got super chat for $20 from Go to the Gym. Man. Go to the Gym. Are you still here? If not, no worries. River is bouncing soon. Watch. Oh, I'm watching on the 1 minute. Hopefully you guys can see what I see. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I always have the stream open on my computer so I can kind of tell where you guys are versus like where I'm at right this second. Okay, so like I said, this line here, I'll get rid of the line actually. Get rid of the line. So this area here, that's what I really wanted to break. So we've dipped really hard. So now I'm going to attempt in my mind to kind of use the philosophies of the money printer model by Master Friend, as well as I understand them. I studied them quite a bit for a while, but it's been a little while since then. Yeah, rocket or no rocket, still going to take a bit to get back to where I need it to be. But it's going. It's trying. We did break that spot, which is usually a good sign for a reversal. Right now, yeah, I'm only down 650. I was just down 800. So it makes a big difference. If we could pump up to the 200 and then get above the 200, that would be really significant. If I can shave some liquidity, reduce margin. What happens if I take $50 out of my margin? It really didn't take me too far. Okay, cool. And I'm hiding all the way down at like 52, which is an insane drawdown. Let's go see how far of a drawdown this would be. I got in about 75. So let's find 75 here. Oh yeah, that's like 15%. And that's why I was saying earlier, when this thing dips, like a lot of times it's 10% or something close to it. A lot of these dips were like 9%. So yeah, that's like a 15.5% basically from where I was at. Cool. It looks like we might be getting a pretty hot pump here. Everything's got to be bottomed out. Like, you know, the 3, the 5. Like, just look down here. Here, let me show you. So this is your RSI. This is your stochastic RSI. And I'm mostly looking right now at the stochastic RSI. All right. So as we roll through here, look how bottomed out they all are. Look how close, how reset. We would call it reset or oversold. 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, the 30 minute, everything's oversold. The 1 hour getting a little bit of a turnaround. The 2 hour hasn't really turned around yet, but it's at the bottom. 3 hour at the bottom, 4 hour at the bottom, 6 hour coming down, 8 hour coming down. So the real high time frames say they could like come down, but like everything else is you know, everything's bottom out. This thing is completely oversold. And of course, it's not usually straight up. It's not going to go straight up. But that was a better pump. Look, we haven't seen a pump like that in like all of this other stuff. We haven't seen a pump like that. I wish I could connect this. Can I connect this to weeks? I don't even know. Yeah, run a fib on it. Great idea. A fib from what, though? On the week? On the weekly chart? No, I'm just kidding. 4 hour. Yeah, see, that didn't even take you to the 1 hour 200 yet. It's kind of concerning. I mean, when you pull a fib, man, you could have a lot more to go from here at 37. I mean, you could, I mean, the 618's down at like $47. That's kind of huge here. So are we getting more like a dead cat bounce for River? You are kind of being held up by the 30-minute 200. What's the 15-minute? Yeah, you're under the 15-minute 200 for sure. Where's my smooth moving average? I don't see the smooth. Let's get rid of this. Maybe it's hiding from me. Yo, where's my smooth moving average? So weird. Maybe it's not on here. You definitely have some divergence on the 15 minutes, but it's not like the strongest looking thing ever. All right, let's get back to the 1. All right, this is good. We started clearing, and we even cleared like the next level up. So we cleared this, and we even got up into here. That says usually pretty strong turnaround here. So then from here we pull our fib and our range, and we're very likely to come down to 64.4 again. Now we pulled down so hard that it doesn't surprise me if we actually get a bigger bounce here, but usually you would wait for this big dump and then you would come try to get in down here at like 64. But that's not what we're doing. We're already in the dump, right? And this stuff works really well. It's unfortunate. I can't wait to get out of this trade and show you it more in real time. And on the weekends, there wasn't as much volatility for this token at all. So my strategy was cooking way harder on the weekend. This is far more volatile than it was over the weekend. Where are we at? So we got a little, I think we're going up to the 1 minute 200. I think that's pretty safe to say. All right, cool. So let's port you guys back over. to say weeks. And now we're only down $500. So from being down 8, like I said, you know, it's really funny, as crappy as it was to have that huge drawdown. This is actually really good. Like, this is really great because this shows you the uglier side of this model. And there will be plenty of times where I'll be able to show you the more beautiful side of this model, where we're just taking money and taking money and taking money. But this kind of showed you, like, worst case scenario, why you need a large amount of money. Like, you, in my margin, guys, I had like $1,600 in margin a minute ago. Where did it go? Oh, that's BTC. Sorry, wrong trade. Margin, we have like $1,600 in margin to protect, I don't know, like $400 or $500 in a trade. So, like, you need some money to do this, guys. And I don't know, the trade that I held all day must have paid me a crap ton in P&L, because this doesn't even make any sense, guys. I left $1,000 in this account. Like, I had 17, I moved 700 to my spot. That's still in my spot, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still in my spot. Anyways, and now I'm already back up to 600. I only made like $200 actually trading today. So you're telling me that I made like $400 just in realized P&L for holding an open trade? That makes this, that really makes like this strategy even more butter, right? Just puts that butter on top. Yeah, Blues guy is talking. So the bounce might be your last hope to get out, right? Well, let's see what this thing wants to do. Is this a dead cat bounce? What do we got going on here, right? That becomes the question. Are we going to the 200? And so at this point, we kind of want to wait for, so we bounced, right? We could continue to pump to the 100. At that point, it would be pretty easy to get, you know, this green line closer to where we're at. So let's go in here and add, because I took $50 out of my margin. We're still at like a liquidation price of 52. So we're doing pretty good. Green Fingers in the house. What's up, man? Thanks for hopping in. Underground, green, perfect timing. Have a look at Ghost is you like. Trying to find, yep, VAH, POC, and VAL. Yep, on River. I know what that means. What is VAH? Volume all-time high and volume all-time low. And point of control. Hey, Bankroll, let me know when you find it. It's so cool to trade with you guys and have people like cooking and finding cool information. I can only go look in so many directions, and I kind of need to focus on the trade right now. So to have people helping me, man, your RSI is already overbought, but I'm not sure what time frame you have it on. The 1 minute. I'm watching the 1 minute chart here. And so, I mean, of course, you're going to get, let's make this big, because I want to pull a fib here, so I kind of need to make this big, even though we're in the 1 minute. In the 786, I'm going to make a line here for the 786, and I'm going to turn it purple. It's funny, I have like different colors for different things, and on my Fibonacci on TradingView, the color of my 786 is purple. So like purple is like the color of the 786 in my opinion. I just changed the wrong thing. There we go. So when I see purple, I think 786 because of using my fib tool. And here it's blue. I don't know what that's about. I'm sure I could change it. What's River? Another alt destiny for zero? Destined for zero? Yeah, probably. Green Fingers, you're just hopping in here. I turned $400 into $1,700 with a strategy, and I was just trying to lay out a strategy for people. And this coin absolutely dipped to the bottom so hard on us while we were watching. But it seems to me like it's a really good way to show you the ugly side of this strategy and show you, you know, kind of how you gotta have nerves of steel kind of to use this strategy, and you also probably need a lot of money on the side. So that would get me 16. Let's see if I click open. Let's see, that gave me 16 river. I don't want to add that much at one time. I can always add more. So let's see. If we add like 4 river, we're bouncing off of the 21. We're at 60, 76. And notice how I chip off slowly. Order failed. Limit order price may exceed buy at 70. Oh, we're on limit? I don't want to be on limit. Why the heck? It just changes stuff randomly sometimes. Like, why am I on limit? Let's buy 4 and see how much we move. And so, like, instead of, like, I can always add more, but if I add too much too quickly, I can't take it out. I can reduce my margin. I can take some of my margin away and put it back in as dry powder, but I can't take my actual position back, right? So let's go ahead and convert. So, okay, with just 4, with just what? What is 4? 4 river is $13. 4 positions in river. It's not actually 4 river tokens. It's only $13. And for $13, we're moving the needle quite a bit. That only brought our liquidation up to 54. That's not too bad. Unless we go on a crazy dip again, that's really not too bad. I want to wait a minute. See, we got our purple line marked for our 786, and you guys are just kind of seeing my reasoning as I try to move on. It looks like XRP about to move. Hey, that's what's up. That is what's up. POC $43. I don't know, man. Peak at XRP. I see something. I'm mad at XRP. It cooked me yesterday. I'll look at it. At underground, what you using as lev to go from 400 to 17? 20x lev. But it's a strategy that I'm using, green finger. You weren't here kind of for the very beginning. Eyes on river. Hard though as well, trying to find, volume all time high and volume all time low. So because I didn't put too much money, see, this is the beauty of it. This is what I was trying to get people to understand. Because I didn't put too much money in my original position, when I need to mitigate out of this hardcore position right now, I'm not going to have to use a crazy amount of money. If I already had like $700 in this, for one, I'd probably already be liquidated, but I wouldn't really be able to do much. Like, I would have to use so much money to move the green line even a little bit that the risk wouldn't even be worth it. I just added like, what was it, like $13, and I moved it like almost point. Because it's 75.2 right now. It was 75.6, so I moved it like 0.4. That's pretty significant for $14. So let's grab another 4 river, and every time I add, and this is, look, you can see used margin 13. So I'm assuming this is worth $13. Am I doing this right? 4 river amount. This is the one thing that when I first started Weeks was like confusing the hell out of me, is that I'm on 20x leverage, right? So the amount that you see here, $275, is not actually $275. It would be $275 divided by 20, right? So it's like actually showing me the full amount of the position of the whole trade, right? And it's showing you like 4 river equals that, but like I'm not actually putting 207. I don't even have, look, here's the thing. I only have $34 in here. So how in the world could I be putting $272 in it? That doesn't even make sense. And we'll confirm it again. So we move down. Now we're at 74.8. We look at our liquidation. Liquidation's only at 54. We're more than $10 away from where we are right now. And it gives me a little bit of a quicker out if we pump. I'd love to see us pump up, break the 200, not get rejected. The biggest thing for me right now is going to be if we get rejected at the 200 or not. That's going to be the big deal for me. The 5 and 15 minute looks good. Are you talking about XRP or are you talking about River, brother? XRP, now has moved above $1.90. Yep, which is important development. This puts price back above the key $1.89 level, turning the early resistance into potential support. Okay, cool. An SR flip, if you will. So then I have to think, I want to make sure my liquidation doesn't go past a certain point. I really want to make sure it doesn't go. I mean, honestly, I like it where it is right now. But I would like to get out of the trade a little faster. It's a give and take. Just kind of watch to see how strong price movement to the upside is. And then, of course, that critical rejection. Now, don't be surprised if we get up to the 200 and we have a small rejection. And then maybe another small rejection. But if it rejects a third time, there's a chance it might literally go down lower and break this low down here, which we don't really want to see. So we'll put a line there. We'll get rid of some of these lines that are just hanging out down here. These are previous lines from other times, I guess. Bang. I don't know why there's so many lines down there. And then you got to hope that we do the normal thing. You know, now you got the lifer vision coming in play with your flags. And that flag would give you a measured move to about 72. And if we could get to $72, I would feel a lot more comfortable moving some of my money out of margin. You go down to the plus, you go to reduce margin, and I can remove, like, you know, up to like almost 773. No, it is 707. I said up to and then the exact price. But, like, you know, I can remove like probably 500 if we got all the way up to 72, but I do it in small little bits. And I love the fact that it says I'm getting like $200 from funding fees. That's crazy. I've never gotten paid heavily for funding fees. I think because I trade Bitcoin, and I think it's always negative. Like, it's always negative for holding BTC. So that's very interesting. All right. Now that our trade isn't dumping into oblivion, we will look at TM Hustle. And you want the 1 hour on what? On XRP or River? So what matters next is acceptance, not just a quick wick. If XRP can hold above this zone and continue to print higher lows, it strengthens the case that the recent sell-off was a pullback rather than a trend break. This is the kind of behavior that often precedes continuation move. Yeah, you're talking about an SR flip, support and resistance flip. Can you look at the 1 hour? Okay, wait. Look at the 4 and the 1 hour. I assume you mean XRP. Someone from my group thesis on XRP. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for putting that here. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with everybody. I guess we're doing a long stream tonight. I didn't plan for a long stream, but I'm pretty amped. I've had a great day hanging out with, you know, one of my wonderful friends and mentor, the lifer. So that was really awesome. And I guess I just got really fired up. And then with this trading, it gives us something to hang out and talk about a lot. So that part's cool too. This kind of looks like it is making a shoulder, head, and shoulder. Ugly, what I just drew. But if it does, here, I'll just use the line that's already here. I've gotten into like reusing my lines all the time. It's kind of funny. If it does, that looks like it would get us pretty close to being back to our 786 Fibonacci retracement. It'd be pretty close. It's not a guarantee, but usually it comes pretty close. And I'd be cool if we just continued to bounce, though. That would be awesome. I guess if you bounce, you'd make that other shoulder and then drop down. So basically the name of the game is, if we lose, as far as like the money printer model or a bottom, obviously if we break these bottoms here at 63, we're pretty much cooked at that point. If you go to the 3 minute, do we have tweezer bottoms? You do have tweezer. Look how small that little one there is. But you do have tweezer bottoms. As far as I understand, tweezer bottoms. The 5-minute is kind of topped out here. The 15-minute just getting started. And do we not have the 7-minute edit? Okay, never mind. They're not going to let me add like a 7-minute chart. The 3 and the 1 just has the most information. River, please, so we can see if you really have a chance. Look at the 1 hour. Yeah. All right, let me port you back over to TradingView. I don't know why I have to announce it every time. I guess it's so you know what I'm doing. And we will go back over to TradingView as I click on the wrong thing. Oh, sorry. I said 1, and I thought it was 1 hour. It's the 1 minute. Not sure what you really want to look at here. Why is my RSI so dang big? It's kind of crazy. The first thing I look for immediately is like divergence or no divergence. That's hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour right there. In my opinion, this is the strongest divergence, is the hidden bull, hidden bear. Those are the absolute strongest. And nothing in life is a guarantee, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely nothing. If you pull, because it's an hour, like you pull way back, and you still have hidden bullish. You even had hidden bullish back here, from here to here, and here. Well, no, I guess you really didn't. I take that back. All-time low, 32.5, POC 16, all-time, oh, sorry, I think that was supposed to be all-time high. Yeah, 35, okay. All-time low, 7.6, volume all-time high, 63. I think I understand. Those are your 2 ranges. Okay, peep those levels underground. Green is a wizard. So green fingers, just give it to me straight. Where do you think this is going? You still have hope, UG. I'm convinced and convicted. All right. Cool. So we looked at the 1 hour and the 15. Just gonna double check that we're all right here. Let me put my alarm kind of right under my wicks. That way I know if we lose the level. And then I guess let's go look at XRP. This is Ondo. Looks like it's dumping as always. And I got to move this stuff out of my way. Let's look at XRP. And where do we want to look at it at? I guess we want to look at it. Coinbase derivatives. Really, I think I'd want to look at it more at the spot. Bang. Daily. All right, let's go 12 hour. Starting to get a move. That wick there at $1.80. 4 hour. Let's go back to the 12. 12 hour pumping. 4 hour looks like it's just kind of reached overbought. Not to clear above $24 though. It's value area high, value area low. Oh, okay. That makes way more sense. Sorry, I'm guessing here. Not all-time high. I was calling out all-time low, guys. Not volume, all-time high, but value area high. So $24? You think it's going to $24, Green Fingers? And you could be right. At some point, it could definitely go to $24. It could go there right now. I don't know. So when you say $24 for River, what do you think that's in? Like the next hour, the next week, the next month? Do I have that wrong? Is that not what you're saying? Are you not talking about River? I don't know. Just want to make sure. This is all so much easier to do like in the voice chat in the Discord because I can get like a quick, easy answer, right? got like a very ugly shoulder, head and shoulder here. Pushing up, you got rejected at the 1 hour 200. And what do you know? Do you get rejected again? You're about to test that 200 again for the 1 hour. The 15 is above it, and it's rounding, inverted head and shoulder with a measured move of, come on, let me grab the line. You got your shoulder, head, shoulder. Measured move back up to this liquidity up here at about $1.92. Still eat that. And let's head down to the 7. Yeah, voice chat so much easier for me to chatter, and I'm a chatter, not a typer. Hey, use that voice to text, brother. It's a game changer. I'm not predicting the movement. I'm just giving you levels. Yeah, I feel you, man. And I'm not going to hold you to it, Green Fingers. I just kind of wanted to know what you meant by 24. Like, in time frame, of course, you know. So, like, I could say, you know, let's just say I said, you know, BTC is going to go to 45,000. But you have to wonder, like, do I mean it's going to go to 45,000 in 2 weeks, or like in 3 years from now, or 2 years? You know, you get what I'm saying. Time frame, very important. Am not predicting movement, am just giving you levels. Okay, these are levels where bears and bulls fight hard, in my opinion, from what I'm learning. Well, how does that look, though, on a new asset? That's kind of my question. Is Rivers a pretty new asset, right? So how does that really work for a really new asset that's pumped up in a value, that went into all new time highs and pumped way up? Do you have the wealth of data to factor in? Or when you get like $24, is it because you're looking a lot at the early previous behavior and data? That's what I'm wondering. Because this thing probably spent quite a bit of time much lower. Had to pump up $7. I don't know. It's definitely had a lot of time over here. Still such a new token. I don't know. I always have lots of questions. Greenfinger, don't feel like you need to answer all my questions, dude. We can always chat sometime in the voice chat or something. Says, from what I'm learning, I think he meant it's not to clear above 24 because it's just now going up above there for the first time. Yeah, I think that's why it's not clear. He's saying because it's new, not trying to speak for him. But yeah. Well, and another thing is, like, I kind of need to hang out with you guys and voice chat a little bit and talk so I can get an idea of, like, where you're coming from, what you're looking at, and then I'll understand your guys' perspective much more, Green Fingers. But I love that you're here. I love that you're hanging out and talking with us, and I love that you're, got your own sauce and your own way about doing things. Man, that's what I was saying earlier. I really want people in the community who are inspired and have something that they're passionate about, right? Something that they already do, something they can bring and kind of teach us about and give us. You see what I'm saying? And Greenfinger's got his thing. Bankroll's got his thing. Melissa's got his thing. Campsta's got his thing. Blues Guy's got his thing. Like, we all have our thing. It's starting to pan out. Like, you know, what I dreamed up, what I was really hoping for, starting to really kind of pan out here. We're kind of just watching this flag out. And you guys notice, like, I haven't added much to the trade. Did that? It looks like that. Nah, that head and shoulders was kind of way deeper. It got a little bit of a move there. I think I might have took a little more than I really needed there. There we go. Something more like that. I don't know. You pretty much got that move down from that shoulder, head and shoulder. It's 1 minute pattern. As far as like these tiny patterns, a flag is one thing, but like a 1 minute pattern is another thing. Looking for value above 24 isn't as clear as under 24. That's what I'm saying. Not saying it's going to 24. Got you. See, that makes a lot more sense, Green Finger. Thank you. 100% underground. I want you to see how green does these flags, because you know you are huge on flags. What does it say? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chart. I definitely, if they, I identify them. Okay. Hey, I'm always open to hear what people have to say. Who came up with that? Crazy people. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yo, that's hilarious. Camsta don't have a thing. Yo, Green Fingers, you didn't have to do him like that, bro. You don't run off the Camsta now. Hey, a lot of us have a lot of wisdom and have been doing different things and have experience in different places. And so, there's also going to be the other side of it. There's going to be like the people who need that, right? Not everybody who comes in is going to have a lot of sauce. Sometimes they're the people who need to eat the sauce. So we need those people too. I think that flag is a little tight. I think it's going to wind up being more like that, but I digress. That's what it is so far. But it's like based off of 2 points. Yeah, Degen mode. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all be nice to Cam. Waiting. I don't know. Did I ever go to like the 5 minute here? Excuse me. It's this dry weather making me want to cough. It's kind of annoying. Huh. Let's see if we throw some trend lines on this thing. I mean, that looks more like the trend line. Something like that. And I mean, this is more to the downside. If you play this pattern on the 5 minute. Rising wedges usually break to the downside. $1.87. All right. Well, what the heck is BTC doing? The like exact same thing? Not really. Delete all stuff on BTC. 88,700. We just got up to 88,971. All right. So let me port you guys back over, and this is feeling a lot like the hangout session of the night. We are definitely hanging out here. Let's port back over to Weeks. Gotta love Camsta. All love. Okay, good. Made me think I was a bad teacher. LOL, you're funny, Bankroll. Hey, everybody's in their own time, and then they receive the way that they receive it, and you can't control none of that. All you can do is show up and try to be patient, and try to, if working with people has taught me anything, it's like you just show up and you be patient, and sometimes it takes people a really long time to get stuff, and that just kind of is what it is, if they ever get it. I've seen lots of people give up too in frustration before they ever get anything. So, all that stuff. All right, looks like we're consolidating around 67. Why don't we change the vibe up a little bit, guys? Let's change the vibe up. This mining is interesting. I don't know. I think it's mining. I don't know what the heck it's doing. BTC just itching, slowly eating the wall. Yeah, that's how it feels, bankroll. Which is which is strong in my opinion. Biggest thing I've ever learned when I did some time in the pen was you don't always have to be right. You can just look stupid trying to be right sometimes. Oh yeah, for sure. And when people have like a closed mind, they don't hear you anyways, bro. Don't waste your time trying to uh don't waste your time with a lot of people, trying to actually give them anything if they don't want it. Like, I never waste my time trying to give people nothing they don't want. And my life in so many facets, from business to not counseling, I'm not a counselor, but like advice, right? Life advice and stuff. To crypto research and stuff like that, even some trading stuff. I don't really consider myself like no trading guru or anything of that nature. I'm still learning like the rest of us, but still some people are starting at zero. And so I have at least 3.5 years of learning to trade. That's better. It's better than there's zero, you know what I mean, as far as some direction here. Yeah, bro, hey, man, I was in jail trying to argue with bozos, had to learn to just let them have it. Yeah, exactly. When the mind's closed, there's nothing there. It's like, it's also the same thing as like, so you have the closed-minded people who don't even want it. They don't even want to have the conversation. They don't even care. And then you have the people who act like they want to have the deep conversations and they want to do something, but like in reality, they don't really understand what it takes. You know what I mean? They don't really understand what it takes to actually level up and actually do better. And as soon as they find out what it really takes, they're not really about it. Like they don't have it, they're not ready, I guess is the way to say it. Once they find out what it really takes, they're not ready in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's play some Panzer Dogs. All this trading has been stressing me out. Let's play some Panzer Dogs. Not really stressing me out. When you hear me say you're right, I'm being a smart ass most of the time. I had this homie, anything you would say, he would reply, right. Yeah. Well, if you say right that many times, I know you're being a smart ass at that point, right? I knew that. I know that's such a tool. Me and my homies mocking him like, right, yeah. If you do that to me like all the time like an ass, I'm just going to do it to you. I'll just be like, yeah, whatever you say, bro. Yeah, got you. Oh, yeah. Just opened a short on BTC. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah, we definitely will see how that plays out, right? And how are we doing? It acted like it was going to break out, and then it didn't do nothing. Is that the retest? I'm like, please be the retest. You ever beg a chart for mercy? Have you been there? You're definitely not a long-term trader if at some point you haven't been so down that you literally begged a chart for literal mercy. And maybe you even begged God. I think a round of Panzer Dogs will get me all loosened up out here. 88,900, not a bad area for a short scalp, TM. Hey, there you go, getting some sauce. Just make sure you wear a bib, right? You don't want to get sauce all over you. You just want to eat it. Bankroll says a minute long. All right, so it's the battle of PTC. Bankroll versus TM. The long and the short. Who's going to get it? Gotcha. Man, I'm lagging. I didn't even see that guy hitting me. Someone's gonna win. Hey, Greenfingers, smart guy. He gets it. Somebody definitely gonna win that one. I mean, I guess there's also a place where they both could lose. It runs really hard one way and then runs really hard the other way. Those market makers, they're masters at that. Running it one way and wrecking everybody, running the other way and wrecking everybody, and somehow everybody gets wrecked. You ever open like a short and a long at the same time, thinking when it moves in the other direction, you would just I'll just close one and then I'll let the other one run. And then, like, by the time you're done with it, like, you've lost both trades. Like, it started to go one way. You're like, okay, it's going up. Then you sell, you're short, and then it turns around and dips and goes the other way. And it's the short that really plays off. And you're like, wow, I just played myself so hard. I managed to lose money in both directions. Yo, what kind of lag? That was the craziest lag catch up I ever saw. Just cooking them. Said I'm playing the 5-minute time frame, never at the same time. That's hilarious, Green Fingers. I've heard it's funny because in my within like my first 6 months of trading, I came up with that idea. But it's since then, and I only ever tried it maybe once or twice. It doesn't work most of the time. But yeah, I've had a lot of other people bring it up, and I'm like, all right, maybe I'm not crazy. Says I'm out. Catch you in the next one. Hey, thanks for being here, man. And we'll see you in the Discord. Not much volume, so there will be no winner tonight. Of the levels I'm watching, keep it simple. I just posted a chart in the channel of what he's watching. There you go. And we should probably redraw this thing a little bit. Fake out, breakout right there. Looks like an inverted head and shoulder, not the biggest measured move on it. Little consolidation. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more pump and I could show you guys me getting out. I guess I'll be posting some updates. Since we spent so much time on this, I guess I'll be posting an update. We've been streaming for a hot minute, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Let's go. I did not plan to stream that long tonight. And I'm feeling great. I feel like we could go another hour, but I don't know if I should, as I probably have other stuff to do for my other business. The never-ending stuff to do with all of life. What do we got? Heat glowing card border. Hey, another NFT in the deck. 87,300 my entry. Take care, Green Fingers. It's a demo trade. I'm in timeout for my ports. Okay. Hey, until tomorrow. Hey, if you're a trader at heart and you still want to trade and things aren't where they need to be for you to take real shots and stuff, nothing wrong with that. So glad we got that first real nice pump up off of that. That made me feel a little better. Looks like we might have got the turnaround, but you never know. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if at some point we go to that 618 drawback and just like on a quick wick. Could see that happening. And it's been a great stream, everybody. At one point, we were up to 21 people on the stream, and that is because you guys had that chat rolling. So shout out to everybody who's here, and shout out to everybody who's been here. Thank you for the super chat. You guys are amazing. I'll kind of keep you guys updated in real time, kind of what's going on in the Discord. I'll just post in the main Hangout. Maybe I need to make another tab. Melissa, what was the tab that you asked me for the other day? I'll just look back in our chats. But somebody asked me for a tab the other day, and I said I'd do it, and I blanked on it. I definitely had a lot of things cooking that day. I want to get another flare video out. Let's see how much stuff I have to do tonight. Maybe I'll get that done. Maybe I won't. If not, then it'll be out the next day, the next video. Sorry things are so busy. Spent the day with the lifer. Sometimes you got to take a nice day off and hang out with your friends. That's just how it has to go sometimes. I don't do it very often. So until tomorrow, 2 rough weekends in a row for me. Put myself in timeout. Hey, weekends can be, it's funny, I made a ton of money over the weekend, but also weekends can be pretty unforgiving. Oh yeah, real traders got to do push-ups sometimes. Hey, real traders should do push-ups all the time, not just fight all the time. Yeah, I learned so much on demos, so much. Yep. I just don't love the demo on weeks. I was not excited about it. I want to start with less money. Like, let me put $1,000 in my demo account. Like, what is up with this? Like, start with $20,000 minimum. Like, that is ridiculous. I learned so much, and yep, he says if I get cooked, go on demo and flip 1,000 to 2,000 until I feel confident to start making real trades again. There you go. I have to check in the Discord. I feel you guys. Much love, Underground. And with that, I'm going to hop out. Looks like we are about to have a nice little down to that 786. The prayer is that we don't break these wicks right here. That's what I'm really hoping. As long as we don't break these wicks, I'll be happy. It'll be good. And who knows? Maybe we don't really go all that far. Maybe we don't really go that far down. All right, guys, I'm just running through my mind real quick to make sure we didn't miss anything. No, I think we covered all of our bases. It's a great stream. I would hope at 3 hours and 20 minutes, I would hope that we covered all of our bases tonight, guys. So stay underground, stay crypto, have a great night. Let's see you in the Discord. Maybe I'll flip this in a little more casual setting, and I'll hop in the Discord at some point in the voice chat. And I'll just continue to let my trade cook and see what I'm doing. It was a great example of what can go wrong, how not to get liquidated. Hopefully, we'll see. It's not over yet. And how potentially you could still turn this into a green trade. We were down $800. And I what are we at right now before I sign out? What are we at? We're down $620. All right. And then somehow we're up $210 on the realized P&L. I still think that part is crazy. Man, I could talk to you guys all day. Thank you for being here. Stay underground, stay crypto, and I will catch you in the next one. Crypto Ron out. And you guys are all very welcome. Shout out to TM Hustling for coming back to the stream again. Thank you very much for being here.